Welcome to an impromptu Jets Afterburners podcast. Your host, New York Jets Fan 16, and that dude right there who's been holding down the fort for the past 5 weeks, Liam, my man.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you back, man. It feels like it's been forever. So let's hope everything's going well. We got something else that we're gonna get into before we get into the show. Dan, I'll let you
Sure.
take that away real quick.
Absolutely, man. Before we get into this whole entire Jets fest and whatnot and what's going on, the most important things right now, and it's about life, right? And we give a big shout out to the Floridians right now. Stay safe. Get out of there as fast as you can. That hurricane is it's real deal. It's Category 5 wind speeds at 185 miles per hour and just picking up. So prayers to you guys.
Yep.
Keep it safe, and we hope you pull through this. Our prayers, everything is extended out to you guys. So with that being
100%.
said, right? I mean, it's just
Yeah,
it's horrible. Already a week away from Helene and all the devastation that it did to North Carolina, and even just brushing through Florida, and they were still reeling on that. So, you know what, man? Just it puts a lot of things in perspective. So a lot of love down there, a lot of prayers, and just if anything that we can do from our side, just let us know. We'll
Yep,
send
reach
food,
out.
we'll send money, whatever the case is. We'll definitely extend that branch to you guys. Branch, forest, everything. Just
Yep.
just help you guys out, man. We're all human beings here. We all help out in life. So without a doubt,
Our
please be
DMs
safe.
are always opened, So if
Without a
anybody
doubt.
has my number, feel free to reach out. We'll do whatever we can.
100%. Now, with that being said, we got to get into this. Again, we're normally on Thursday nights at 9 p.m. This couldn't wait. As you could
Nope.
see the title of the show, I was torn between Rubicon, and the actual definition of that is point of no return. We're at 2 and 3, fellas. This is huge right now. And a lot of people might say, hey, look at Peyton Manning's first year with the Broncos. He came out swinging, right? That first game against the Ravens. He threw for, 7 touchdowns, whatever the case is. But he also started 2 and 3. You're trying to get in motion. Last year was a wash. Nothing is clicking. The offensive line can't open up holes for Breece Hall. There's now X factor throughout this article today where Sauce Gardner is like, yo, what the heck, man? Why are you guys giving up on Breece? The chemistry isn't there with Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams, and Aaron Rodgers. Saleh is Saleh, right? I mean, Saleh has not changed. There is no accountability there. There's a big problem here. And the craziness about this entire thing, I'm going to segue it back to you, is that with all this done, all this nonsense, these past 2 weeks, we could have won the game. We could have. And that Denver game, I'm going to get into that because I missed last week. That was a game that you do not lose. But with that being said, guess what's on the line next Monday night in front of a nationally televised audience?
I'll be there.
You're going to be there?
Yep, I'm going.
Wow, man, that's awesome, dude.
No, no, I don't want to be there now.
You know what? I would love to be there. I'm going to tell you why, because it's for first place. When was the last time, Liam, that we had a conversation about first place? When?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And I love this comment. I just want to pull it up here. Where was it?
I'm going to get to you soon.
Armand had a very good one. Right here. This is not a team. It is just a bunch of talent stacked up. 100%. That is the perfect way right now to describe the New York Jets. And the thing with Saleh, everyone's saying like you got to fire him. I'm heads have got to roll if they do not figure this out on Monday night. Have to. And like I don't really ever like to overreact, get too high or get too low. This is pathetic. I mean, Aaron Rodgers looks average at best. Like, I'm not gonna knock Aaron Rodgers too much just because like I feel like he's garnered that respect, at least over like his legacy. But stupid me against Denver and yesterday against Minnesota, I thought Aaron Rodgers would be able to march down the field and win it for us. How many times have we seen that throughout his career? He's been able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's just old and hurt and just washed and past his prime. I don't know what the situation is because he still throws a nice ball. I mean, yesterday was so uncharacteristic of him.
Mhm.
Possibly the worst game of his career.
Mhm.
His entire career. I can't remember the last time Aaron Rodgers threw 3 interceptions.
Right.
And it wasn't just the 3. It was he's got to stop. I mean, like, I'm not going to sit here and tell Aaron Rodgers what to do. Like, I'm not going to tell him where to place the ball because his ball placement is spectacular. It's
But
the best ball I've ever seen thrown in my entire
Right.
life. But some of these just back shoulder passes have got to stop.
But Liam, who on the team can hold him accountable? Name me one player that will go up to Aaron Rodgers and say, "What the hell are you doing, man?" Yeah, okay, I get it. 2 interceptions. But Mike Williams, that ball should have been placed in front of him. He walks. He does the moonwalk into the end zone. There's no one on that team that can hold him accountable. But there is one player that can keep him at least at bay. And that's one player that plays for the Raiders. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, Davante, he's torn between the Saints and the Jets. Have you guys seen Derek Carr tonight? Pedestrian. He's not all that. He's not all there. Davante wants to play with Aaron Rodgers. They had something good going. And again, even Davante said in an interview, yep, and they're going to be looking much more happier once they're here in New York. Davante said with that chemistry, it took a good 3 years. So Garrett Wilson, what we're seeing there, the Green Bay Packer fans probably saw that with Davante and Rodgers. The problem is we don't have 3 years. That's why it's so important to have Davante Adams in that locker room. Give the Raiders whatever they want. Guys, enough of this. Oh, we got to build for the future. The moment that we traded for Aaron Rodgers, we mortgaged the next 4 years because the Super Bowl window is this year. This is the year. Don't talk to me about 2025. The season is salvageable right now. Now, we're going to get to Vinny in just a second because he has some PowerPoints here. My big thing is if we start off 2-4, again, the season is not lost at 2-4. For some Jets historians, Herman Edwards era, we are at 2-5. We won
an
the
actual
East,
head coach.
right?
That's the difference.
Now, 2-4, in my opinion, Woody Johnson, as much as people hate the guy, he's a businessman. He's also a Jet fan. And businessman, I mean, when you invest in something, you want to see the productivity of your investment. He's not seeing it. At 2-4, he's going to be weighing stuff, especially the ridicule of a Monday night loss. Forget it if it's a blowout. I think that is our crossroads next Monday night. In the event we lose that game, Saleh's not going to be the head coach. And I hear the narrative of Woody has never done this. Woody has never fired a coach in season. This is different. Woody has never invested so much capital on a signal caller. Ever. If there's any way to salvage this season, Ulbrich would be interim head coach. Don't give me this Hackett nonsense. Hackett does not deserve to be the interim head coach, especially after that. What was that? 4th and 2. That 4th and 2 on the gun, having a running back behind you. Now, instead of going 2 yards or maybe 4 yards, if you're under the gun and giving it to him right off, it's called a blast right there. You give it to him. He just bulldozes over, gets your 2-3 yards. That is a high school play that he did. That's why, to me, there is turmoil between Rodgers, Hackett, and big-time Saleh. And it can't be overlooked, the shove that everyone saw, in which Rodgers knows, to win a Super Bowl, we got to be all focused. This guy's coming at me with a hug. Push that away. You got a 2-score lead. Do your job. Stop running up and down the goalpost, guy. Like, enough is enough, fellas. We need a real head coach. And I think this is the week right now. If we don't take the lead of the AFC East this coming Monday night, to me, it's a wash. We're looking at an interim head coach starting the following week. I think it's Pittsburgh, right?
Yep. Yeah, I think truthfully, I have no faith in the New York Jets going into Monday night.
All in due time.
I have
All in
no
due
faith
time.
that they're going to win this game. Yes, appreciate it, faithful.
Right?
But yeah, I have no faith. And how can you at this point? You know what? Go out there and prove me wrong. I will be shocked, and I'll be jumping with joy. Like, I'm not off the Jets train. Like, I want to see this team win. I don't want to sit here and bash them all week. But it's been 2 games, 2 winnable games. And like, that's the thing. Like, every game is not going to be like this really entertaining shootout, just back and forth on offense and defenses. I get it. Sometimes you have to win ugly. They won ugly against the Tennessee Titans. But you know what? Beating a Tennessee Titans team that fell apart because Will Levis is not a good quarterback, and then beating a terrible Patriots team does not make you a good team. Does
Right.
not make you a good team. And the New
Definitely
York
not.
Jets have yet to show that they are a good team. Now, it's not just us fans saying Super Bowl. This whole Super Bowl narrative came publicly from them. They have said multiple times this offseason, our aspirations are to win the Super Bowl.
Yep. Lawrence is on point on this one. 100%. Well, this is why, again, I don't know if this is true or whatnot. You know what? Everybody has sources, but that right there, if we don't get Devontae, I'm going to say it right out. The season's cooked. It's cooked. You can't go into Kansas City. You can't go against the top-notch teams with Lazard. He drops a lot, man. What he
4 balls out of 10 yesterday.
He leads the NFL in drops. Malachi Corley. So you're telling me that you gave up picks for a guy that is your Deebo Samuels 2.0, right? Okay. And he hasn't seen the field, just 2 snaps. Gibson is ahead of him. So the Jets continue to play this BS game with receivers. First it was Mims. Then it was Elijah Moore. I know I'm missing another one where they're trying to outsmart themselves as opposed to developing a young player. And now it's Malachi Corley. Now here comes the conspiracy theories.
Look at Mecole Hardman last year.
Another one. And we're not even using Mike Williams that much either. We're not even using him that much. Now, to me, this is where I want to throw out the conspiracy theories because it's funny. They're saying, oh, you know what? That Malachi Corley was a Raiders pick. In the event, like Las Vegas is having a crap of the season, they really liked him and they couldn't get him in the draft. So that's why they're stashing him and he's going to be part of the deal. I don't buy that at all. Again, it's perfect, right? If you think about it, you trade him, Devontae's happy, he's with Rodgers, and he has his number 17 jersey. Now, with that, what do you think? We bring on Vinny? What do you think?
Yeah, let's get to it.
Hill as well.
Yep, Stephen Hill.
Stephen Hill, great player.
Who?
Vinny, what's up, my man? The Yankees winning?
We got Vinny from Connecticut on the line.
No, we're down. We're down.
Down
4-1.
Who's recording this?
That was my name when I used to call into the fan. Again, gentlemen.
So what do you think, man?
I'm going to start with the coach, the quarterback, the offensive coordinator.
Where do you want to start? I mean, I
wherever
could
you
go on
like.
for hours about
You
all
guys
of
can
them.
hear me?
Yeah.
No, I mean, honestly, yesterday was a very bad day. It's no secret. It was a very bad day at the office yesterday. The thing is, Rodgers is our quarterback, bare minimum, until the end of the season. That's why you brought him in here. But the thing is, when you bring in an Aaron Rodgers, you made your bet. Now you got to line it. That means Hackett is here to stay. It doesn't matter how many interceptions or losses. Hackett is here to stay. So everybody's just got to stop talking about firing Hackett or demoting Hackett. Hey, Lauren, I know who she is.
We had a great space yesterday. Lauren had a great space yesterday. And I think if you're hearing me, Lauren, and Vinny, you too, honestly, let's do a space every single time these guys are playing. I thought it was awesome. And apology 101, I'll let you finish here. I'm sorry. I see the plays happening 5 seconds before everyone else does. Sorry about that. I will not be a spoiler anymore. Sorry about that.
Thank you, Dan.
Had to get
With
that out
that said, if there was a move to get rid of this abysmal head coach, it should have been done this morning when they landed back in the States. And it's no secret. And I know things shook out with Buffalo. We're technically hallelujah. Do you really trust Saleh to lead the troops on?
So apparently Vinny was calling from England, and it's not working out well. Wait a minute. Let's see. All right. Vinny from England. Where are you? Tottenham. Are you there, Vinny?
They got
We're having technical difficulties.
Can you hear me, guys?
Vinny.
Can you hear me?
We did. Yeah. Go for it.
Partially.
I could. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello.
Okay. So, anyways, the point is just what?
Go for it.
I'm screwing with you.
Oh my
Freaking
goodness.
Verizon.
The point is just like, I understand Woody's on the team since 2000. He's never fired a coach mid-season, but at some point in time when you're approaching your 80s, it's time to change strength. I wouldn't have let him come back on the plane from London. I would have left him there. Elevate Ulbrich, and everybody knows, if those of you that follow my tweets, I hate these defensive-minded coaches. I don't like any of them. I think they all stink. But with that being said, there needs to be another voice that's got to motivate these guys and get them to start listening. The body language from Saleh on the sideline when things go down, with his head down, arms folded, and starts pouting. But then when things start going well and he's fist pumping for field goals, I'm like, how could anybody take this guy seriously? This is not the CEO. This is a cheerleader. It's a guidance counselor. Are you kidding me right now? Hey, he should have been fired this morning. This morning he should have been fired. And I would even go out on a limb and say I don't think it's ever been done in history, or maybe it has in the last 20 years. I would even entertain bringing in a guy, and I'm not advocating for him, but Rex Ryan would get these guys to play for him. They would. Mm-hmm. Nobody takes this guy seriously, and the reality is, I'm sorry, let me just finish this point, not to cut you off. Respect the hell out of you, Liam. The reality is, you fire him tomorrow, you fire him next week, you fire him at the end of the season. Absolutely no one in the National Football League will give him a head coaching interview unless it's to satisfy the Rooney Rule. You know that for a fact.
Even defensive coordinator, Vinny. I'm sorry, but even as a defensive coordinator.
Head coach.
No. I know. I'm taking it a step further, Vinny. Not even as a defensive coordinator. I'm going to put it to the bank here. The only team that would get 2 teams that would even entertain it. 3 teams. Sorry, because they're buddies. LaFleur in Green Bay, McDaniels in Miami, and then back to San Francisco. That's it. Outside those 3 teams, they wouldn't even fathom bringing him in as a defensive-minded coach and coordinator. Not even close. Again, it's a motivational type of guy. He's at best a strength and conditioning coach. That's it. You got 2 more reps in you. Come on, push it. That's it. He can't do much more.
Can we touch base on the Devontae talk, Dan, if you don't mind?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I have one. Before we get into that, I have one question, though.
Tell you this.
Just sure. Sorry, we'll get there in a second. I promise. With like I don't know. Let's say they do fire Saleh.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, where do you go from there? I mean, it's Saleh's system. Like you're not like restart. Like it's just such a bad spot to be in, man. Like you might get that like.
Are you talking about mid-season or at the end of the season?
Mid-season, like if they were to fire him after week 6, which I don't think they're going to fire him this. I don't think they're. I think they're going to at least give him his real quarterback all season long. Although I don't think Rodgers is making this full season.
Ulbrich calls the defense, not Saleh.
Right. Exactly.
I
I'm
guess
with Vinny
I
on this
guess
one.
no, yeah, I'm not saying that they should
The thing
they
here,
should keep Salah, but
but that's why I'm saying. But that's why I'm saying fire him now, elevate Ulbrich, and let's still try to go for it. By you trotting Salah out there, you're already accepting defeat. There's no sense in firing him after next week because there's nothing more to play for. You're going to be 2-4, looking up at everybody else in the AFC East. Come on now.
When's the last time you heard Salah use the phrase "no"? What is it? All gas, no break. When's the last
not at
time?
all.
Not at all. Since the first year, because he doesn't even believe that anymore. That's number one. Number two, he said it last week, and he has always said it throughout the entire tenure. They're grown men. So I'm not going to hold them accountable because they should hold themselves accountable. And now when you hear someone like Williams yesterday, Quincy, say, you know what, we got to be more accountable. That just speaks volumes about that locker room. No one is looking at each other like, all right, you know what? We got something special here. We got to make it grow. And honestly, the Saints and the Jets, they're not making it really appealing to Davante Adams. I think Adams wants to really come here with Rodgers. He kind of experimented with the whole car thing out in, was it with Las Vegas? It didn't work out. He's not going there. In my opinion, he is not going there. He gets more productivity with someone like Aaron Rodgers than he will ever have with Carr. It's not Fresno State anymore. So to Vinny's point, I think it has to be Ulbrich. Ulbrich will have that. That to me is that first chess move there, you know, where Woody's like, all right, you know what? We're salvaging this season. Salah's gone. Ulbrich, you do your thing. Because I would think Ulbrich would have the team very accountable, man, because it's a golden opportunity in which Ulbrich didn't even realize he would ever have. And just like Antonio Pierce last year, he seized it.
I just really
you know
fear
what?
that it's going to be Hackett because he has the head coaching experience.
Oof.
I'm telling
But
you.
Ulbrich's
I'm telling
been
you.
there longer. Hackett just got there. I think Ulbrich would seize the pulse of the locker room. I really do. And my only fear with that, with an interim coach, is I don't want it to be a Fugazi head coach if we go on a small run and then they make the mistake that the Raiders made and offer them a contract. Antonio Pierce is who he is. He's not an NFL head coach. He did a good job wrapping up last season. I think they should have looked outside the organization to salvage that mess. I don't want us to do that. I want us to salvage the season now if it's truly an all-in year. With that said, who are your leaders? Every time Rodgers threw a pick yesterday on Sunday, where did he go? He went right down to sit on the bench. Didn't want to talk to Salah. Didn't want to talk to his weapons. Didn't want to talk to his offensive linemen. And Salah was the same way. When the defense would give up a score, did he talk to his captains or any of his playmakers? Where are the leaders in this locker room? I don't know who they are. You mentioned Quincy Williams. Yeah, he spoke up. There is no accountability. Finally, somebody said it. But other than him, where are the leaders?
Yep. I tweeted that yesterday too. That he was just sitting on the side. Like he was just sitting by himself.
Where's Quinnen? Where's Quinnen Williams after he got his huge contract? You know what I mean? Like Sauce Gardner, man. The ball hits him right in the two hands, right in the end zone. You're a top cornerback. You pick that off. You don't get gifts like that. That could have changed the trajectory of the game. And he dropped it. And then he scored a touchdown.
Yep.
Like, come on, man. Like, enough is enough. We're all pissed as Jet fans because we expected more. And those Super Bowl aspirations, yeah, they were real. Of course. We got Aaron Rodgers. We got everything going now. We have a fortified offensive line, running back, Breece Hall. He can't get out of his own way. I still expect him to be top echelon this year once the offensive line gets everything in motion. But they're missing that timing. And that timing can be helped by acquiring someone like Davante Adams. We don't get Adams, guys. It's a lost season. I'm sorry. We're screwed.
The thing with
Sauce,
Sauce,
things to touch on. Two things to touch on there, Dan. I'm sorry, Liam. I keep doing this to you. I'm so sorry.
No,
Let's start with that offensive line you mentioned. Can we go through that offensive line really quick? This is what I saw in the first 4 games. Tyron Smith looks like a broken man. John Simpson, I think, absolutely fucking sucks. And Olu Fashanu is playing out of position. He's not a right tackle. He's a left tackle. Did he ever play right tackle at Penn State? I don't know. I don't think so. It doesn't make sense to me. And the fact that Keith Carter is still in the building is complete malpractice.
Yep. No, it's disgusting.
The thing with Sauce is like we're all saying that he's going to be paid as the number one corner in football. Why? He's not the number one. I mean, I'm not going to say Sauce sucks, but he's got to be better. By your third year, you should be nobody be an established football
I have
player.
Nothing but love and respect for. Yeah, but I think he's good. I don't think he's $30 million good. If you told me at the end of the season a team was willing to cough up 2 first-round picks for him, I wouldn't blink an eye if it meant stopping the bleeding on this offense.
Brandon Eccles, who is a backup, is so much more productive than him. Every time he's on that field, he gets an interception, he has a fumble, something. He does something. He makes it known. And then, with this offensive line, that's a good point, too. I mean, I'm not going to kill Olu Fashanu because he's a rookie, but ever since Morgan Moses, has gone down with that injury, that offensive line has not been the same. So there's something to be said for that as well.
Now we got to touch on Reddick. A lot of people are like, oh, the hell with Reddick, this and that. Get him in.
I got
Joe
this.
Douglas.
Okay.
Joe Douglas, swallow your freaking pride, man. We've been showing the same picture for the past 9 weeks. Like at this point, enough is enough, man. We need him in a freaking Jets jersey. We need him in the building, man. We need him in the building. Yes, this defense is good. It's good. But we need it to be great. We traded for the guy. We need an actual pass rusher. Jermaine Johnson has been out, since the beginning of the season. Huff was gone. He's in Philly. I don't know what he's doing.
He doesn't know.
We don't have a pass rusher. What, Will McDonald? I love the guy. What is it, 7 sacks already? That's great. But that's it.
Leonard Taylor too, productive yesterday.
Yes.
So Michael Clemens looked pretty good. I'm not defending it. I just 100%. But, I mean, like, working with what we have right now, it's...
What is up with the connection tonight? I mean, am I supposed to believe that we actually went to the moon?
Yeah, my Wi-Fi showing 1 bar now too. Do I sound terrible?
You were getting out there. NASA was like, "Yo, Houston, Dallas, we got a problem." But I think you're okay now.
It's not
Vinny,
me.
You good there? Yeah, Vinny also is like talking into like a pasta fazool dish.
He's talking. Yeah, he's like talking into like a can of ravioli.
That's all good, man. I want
you want to touch on Adams?
Yes. I don't want to touch him.
Yeah, I don't want to touch
Pause.
Adams either.
At this point, I'd touch anything. I just want a Super Bowl. I don't care.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
I
we've
touch
all
Adams for a Super Bowl, I'll do it.
Been long
Whatever.
enough.
What is that, like in Stanley Cup, right? You can't touch
Well,
the cup.
Adams.
Touch his cup.
Yeah. Well, no, I think it's the President's Trophy. You're not supposed to touch, or it's bad luck.
Oh,
One of the two.
that's a whole.
We don't.
different
We're
discussion.
Jet
I
fans.
got
We
the
don't
hat.
touch any trophies.
I don't even know what a trophy is. I had a trophy when I was a kid, like a participation trophy
I've had a few of those. I've participated, baby.
that I got cracked over my head by my dad because he's Sicilian.
Oh,
You know, like,
hey,
My
Dan,
dad was my kid wrestling coach.
oh no,
Yeah.
oh man, that's great. Holy smokes! You imagine having Salah as a dad? You get away with
Well,
anything.
he's got 7 kids.
I would love it.
They're
yeah.
grown kids.
They are grown kids. They don't need any discipline.
None.
No accountability in that house. There's got to be nothing.
Whatsoever.
You fail like you could get like a 0 on like every test, and you're like, that's all right. You'll get them next time, bud. You don't need to study. You already know. You go to school all day. You know.
I should
I don't
rename
know.
that trophy the Mark Messier trophy. That's what I say.
I say
We're
so.
winning the cup anyway. Rangers will win the whole thing this year.
I hope so.
I think so.
I
And
wish.
the Mets.
I'm almost like not ready to get my heart
us.
broken by them again yet. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, but at least it's fun being a
No,
Rangers fan. At least they win. I mean, even the Knicks. There's something. That's what pisses me off the most. It's like you follow all these New York teams, and they're turning the corner. It's fun being a Rangers fan, Yanks fan, a Mets fan. Freaking what else? Who else am I missing? The Giants. They showed more heart yesterday than anything any New York team has, even Buffalo. And the Knicks, the Knicks, what they traded for
The Liberty,
Anthony
the
Towns.
Red Bulls.
Love it. The Red Bulls, all those guys.
The Long
What's
Island
the other one?
Nets.
And Long Island Nets, all of them.
I think
and
they're a
then-
lacrosse
What
team.
the hell?
And
They
then
played the
there's
National
Jets.
Coliseum.
Have you guys
Yeah.
seen the Vince McMahon thing? The whole on Netflix.
I watched.
Really good.
Yeah, I was actually watching right before I hopped on with you.
Don't give it away. I've yet to do that.
I'm not done. I'm not done.
He dies at the
one.
end.
I heard it's good though. Oh, he
I am.
doesn't.
I'm actually at the part where he actually blows himself up and dies. Yeah.
Right. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah,
Vince.
I remember
I'm
that.
guessing that segues into Chris Benoit, and then I don't know where we go from there.
That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I'm right there. Yeah. But and then there's the Jets, man. Right. Great segue. Honestly. All right.
Yeah.
We're watching this game yesterday, 9 in the morning. Can we stop? Can we stop these 9 o'clock in the morning games? Like I remember going to California and watching a Jet game at 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, is it good? Is it not? I get to enjoy the rest of the day, but enjoy the rest of the day. I mean, that's what Sundays are all about, right? Waking up early.
I
have a
did that
story for
once.
that.
Ritual.
I
hate that.
I have a story for yesterday. So it started off like I didn't know if I should drink because
Right.
it was like so early. I didn't feel right. And I'm like, it's Sunday, it's a nice day. But I was pissed. I mean, like I lost my hat. I think it's under the couch somewhere. My mom was scared. Typical Sunday Jet loss, where the whole house is going wild. And then so I'm like, all right, so I like afterwards, I'm like looking for like a good football game to watch. Like I normally don't watch football. It was just I'm like, I gotta watch something.
Right.
My dad was cutting up rags because he's manic, and after like Jet losses, he just goes upon his day. And he actually ended up cutting his thumb really bad. So I had a bunch of stitches and everything. I had the bathroom looked like a murder scene. There was blood everywhere. So I had to
Jeez.
take him to the hospital. So I'm sitting in the hospital all day yesterday, just like flipping back, like watching some certain games and everything. And I'm just thinking like, it looks so much easier everywhere else. The 49ers, like they're not a great team right now. Just decimated with injuries. We've been there, and they didn't win yesterday. But like I'm celebrating first downs. Garrett Wilson had a big first down. Breece Hall ran for a first down yesterday. I'm like, yeah, I'm like going nuts, and I'm like, a first down is nothing to everybody else. It's just an average play.
Yo, even freaking the Dolphins versus the Pats. They got Hundley. Hundley, what was that? The dog from Curious George playing
Yes.
quarterback with Miami. Dude, the guy looked amazing. And us, we lose our quarterback, and that with Tim Boyle, where we're sticking with Tim Boyle, guys. And then we get Brett Rippon, and then we get, I don't know, the corner kiosk guy. He's like, oh, you want to play? Freaking, he's like, all right, I got nothing to do on my off shift. Let's do it. I have nothing to do. And then all of a sudden, we're incompetent. The Miami Dolphins here, the wheel still keeps going. It's like, all right, let's get this going. Let's at least like formulate some sort of competency. And they did it. They're playing. They're winning. Like they're not so far behind the AFC East crown. Yeah, two is out, but at least they're still there. They're nagging. This
Josh
is
Allen
wide
might be
open,
out, too.
fellas. It's wide open. It's
Now,
still open.
I have a question for you guys. Aaron Rodgers apparently, allegedly, is dealing with a low ankle sprain. Is there any situation that we start Tyrod Taylor Monday night?
Nope.
No.
They're going to treat it exactly the way they treated Brett Favre. If he truly is hurt, they're going to conceal it, but they're going to have to put him out there because that's their best opportunity, not just to win, but to get the fools, meaning the three of us and so many others, to report to the stadium because Tyrod Taylor doesn't sell tickets.
Well, I already bought my ticket.
Let's call it the way it is.
I went to the Mike White game
Oh, you
against
poor
the
soul.
Bengals. No, it turned out good. I mean,
That was the
it's
Halloween game, right?
It's actually one of like the highlight of me going to MetLife. Yeah, it's up there. Believe it or not.
Well,
Wow.
after Aaron Rodgers got hit and he was like writhing in pain, I thought he was done.
I felt
And
bad
he
for
walks
him,
back
yeah.
in. He went right back in and he led us to it was a touchdown, right? Or it was 3 points. It was 3 points.
3 points.
And there's no way
When he
that you get him
came out of
there.
that tunnel running, I thought that was like the moment of a movie where it's just like, this is where we're supposed to rise up and rally.
Right.
And just then he chucks another one to the other team. I'm like,
I had
we,
so much faith that he was going to
we
drive
can't
us down
catch a
the
break.
field
We just
and score a touchdown. I
can't.
had so much faith, and I don't know why. I guess I just have respect for Aaron. I've watched his career.
But guys,
He-
the issue is the play caller. Do you see this offense that they're running?
Whatever
It's-
happened to the
there's-
motion? At least the first 2 weeks we were using
But
motion a little bit.
Liam, they're playing dink and dunk. That's why I was gonna say with the Devontae Adams thing, hey, hand up. I was saying just 2 weeks ago, bring him in. I want all the weapons
Shit.
possible. I've seen the offense for what it is. What's the sense in giving up this draft capital if you're gonna bring Devontae Adams here and just throw screen passes? We
You
haven't
can't.
thrown one. Aaron Rodgers only has 1.5 seconds to throw. Why are we sacrificing future draft capital that the new head coach that's going to come in here next year, is going to need?
No, you're right.
Let's
You're
be
right.
real. I'm
Next
being right. And guess what? That also makes the job a hell of a lot less attractive.
Well, you know it's going
this job is nobody wants to touch this job with a 10-foot pole right now. So.
But I'm just saying, like, are they going to throw up the 50-50 ball for Devontae? Or are they going to keep playing dink and dunk? Because you know who else played dink and dunk? Chad Pennington. Who is his coordinator? Nate Hackett's father.
But Vinny, you don't understand. They played good teams. They fought hard. They had a good week of practice. You just
Johnny
don't get it.
boy, what's going on, man?
Dear God.
You don't get it.
Hey, am I coming in okay? Am I
Yeah,
good?
you're the clearest
probably the-
one of all of
I
us.
hate
I was
this.
just gonna say.
You
freaking
pay for
coach.
good
I
internet.
hate him.
Tough game, boys.
You know what
Tough
really
game.
pissed
Donnie,
me
you
off
there?
too? But I got to rant here for a quick second.
Go for
He
it.
said it's still early. We are the first quarter of the season's over. It's not early anymore. We're 5 weeks in. It's not early. It's just give me a freaking break.
With the exception
Johnny,
of the
how you doing?
49er game, we could legitimately be 4-1 when you
Yeah.
really think
How
about
many-
the grand scheme. We could be 4-1.
How many weeks in?
And I
Say
feel
it
like
again?
if we had a true head coach,
Ah. He's 4 years in. Forget about this 5-week nonsense. He's 4 years in. Enough is enough. Jet fans, the Jet players, that locker room deserves so much more. And yes, we want to throw Joe Douglas under the bus. What more can Joe Douglas do at this point? I know. Sign Hassan Reddick. Get him in the building. This is an
Hold on, I
all-in
got
year.
this.
Get him in. Ah, man. It's like whenever we summon his name, that picture comes out of nowhere. He's nowhere near New Jersey right now. Oh my gosh, man. This is like a picture portrait type of cinematography.
Yes.
Oh my
Great
goodness.
one.
And he's upset in that picture. He's not. Like when I have indigestion, like I picture indigestion with that face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's definitely has a little bellyache.
Totally. I would too, especially if I was coaching the team. But Johnny boy, floor is yours, man. What your perspectives on the state of the Jets? And Armand, you're coming up next.
I'll say this, man. Still early.
Mhm.
I know Liam doesn't want to hear that, but it is, right?
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers should not be throwing the ball 96 times in the last 2 games. He's been sacked 8 times. He's been hit over 25 times. This type of ball is not sustainable for the whole entire year, right? Okay. This game that just passed, I wanted balanced ball. Couldn't fucking do it. You know what I mean? There was no gaps open up for there. I mean, you had guys by the name of Bates whiffing on freaking chip blocks that were supposed to help Olu on the right side. Didn't happen. You know, I didn't even know we had a guy named Bates playing.
I still don't know that we had a guy named Bates.
I heard
You know
of a
what I'm
hotel
saying?
with
So,
that.
like, now, is the defense, people are saying, oh, but the defense is not what it was last year. Defense is doing good. They're holding like they're supposed to. It's the same shit all over again last year. It's the offense. The offense. We need that. And you got your players, your star players, your leaders in that other side. They've had it. There's no accountability for in regards to who should be held accountable for what the hell they're doing. It doesn't happen. They're like, oh, we'll figure it out again next week. It'll be okay, right? Meanwhile, you got the defense is just busting their ass to try to get this W. We have to win. It is now a must win against Buffalo.
Yep.
They put us into this position again that it's a must win. We should have beat Denver. That Denver game hurt us in the conference. Okay. We let the Minnesota game go through our fingers because, to be 100% honest with you, we were the better team. Once freaking Aaron Jones went out, which is the one player that I kept saying, if we could take care and neutralize that individual, we have a chance. We have a really good chance to win. So happens he gets hurt, he's out, we still can't capitalize. 3 momentum key things that happen in that game. You have Quincy, right? Again, we're expecting the defense, right, to play hero ball for us. We're wanting them, we're expecting them to do something that does not happen often, okay? You're expecting him to swoop a fumble, take it to the house. But then people are like, he should have done it. You know, somebody just tapped him like that on the thing. They barely touched him and all that. Anybody that's played any kind of professional sport, any sport in general, when you're running at your full speed, right, and the wind hits you incorrectly, it could trip you up. You guys have seen it. There's been phantom things that have occurred within players, okay? That happens. You get Sauce Gardner, right? The tip ball that came into his breadbasket should have been another one that would have stopped. 2 plays after that, they score. We could have had the momentum in that piece of it itself. And then the pick 6. Dude, you got Vin Ginkel in the after talking about, yeah, we watched tape. My coach was telling me, right, Olu does this to show that he's going to pass block and whatnot. So what did I do? I act like I'm going to go ahead and blitz, come off, go in the passing lane, pick 6. Right? We killed ourselves. We keep doing that. You know, play calling is horrible. We consistently look unprepared coming into the game. It's the coaching. The coaching is killing us so bad, and it sucks. And I see my man is probably watching the Yankees game and is probably pissed off at what's going over there. You know what I mean? But it's all right, bro. Go Mets, right? And I just had it, man.
There's no creativity, Johnny. There's no creativity. That's the problem.
Johnny, can I ask you? Can I ask Johnny, are we beating the Buffalo Bills on Monday night this week? Without getting into the detail, are we beating them?
Nope.
Yes.
Okay.
I hope so.
Yes. I mean, bro, every single team that we play, we can beat them. You're asking me, are we going to beat them? I'm going to say yes. Right. Josh Allen might not be playing.
I would love to be wrong and happy. I would love to be, as Evan Roberts once, I'd love to be wrong and happy than right and miserable. I'm telling you right now, I don't see it after what I've seen collectively for the first quarter of the season. We're one Will Levis fumble away from being 1-3. That's the reality. And I honestly think they're going to get their doors blown off.
But we could be 4-1, right? We could switch it. We're 4-1 because it could be switched on the other way. We were 1 play away from having a freaking 100%. Field goal going there. It's just a lot of stuff, man, that we never get the ball to bounce our way.
It's got to stop raining. It's got to stop raining. It's really killing the Jets too.
I'm never one. It's supposed to rain. It's supposed to rain on Monday night, by the way.
Yeah, be there.
The whole season. The whole season's gonna rain. Armand, welcome to the party.
What's up, everybody?
The backup.
Hey guys, I'm gonna hop off, but I gotta watch the rest of this game. But thank you for having me on.
You got it, Vinny. Be safe, man. What's up, Armand? What's going on?
What's Hackett's offense? What is it?
Run, pass.
It's dink, dunk, and it's very predictable. Very predictable.
Dunk, kaboom, done.
It's run, pass. Please, Aaron Rodgers, do something incredible that when you were a lot younger would be able to save us.
I think the slogan for Hackett's offense has to be dink, dunk, done.
Or save me, Aaron. It's Armand. Give us your perspective, man. What's going on? What do you see when you're watching the game that you're like, yo, dude, again, you know, Johnny brings up some great points where we could be 4-1. In these games, we're not getting blown out. That's why, to me, it's not the end of the season at 2-3, but something's got to give. There's got to be a spark. There's got to be a trade. And I keep going back and revisiting that Braylon Edwards trade. In 2009, we were still at certain crossroads. We made that trade and we played against Miami. Man, that was an epic shootout. It was a great game. We lost that game, but you saw that there was an instant connection with Mark Sanchez and Braylon Edwards, right? You saw it.
So to go to your question, this team is cracked. There's a divide.
Okay.
It's the players versus the coaches. Even if you're getting Devontae, that's not gonna unify this team. You know, last week I was on with Liam as you were away, Dan, and my final thing was, hey Jets, you can learn something from this Mets team. The difference between the Jets and the Mets are unified. It took a team meeting after a brutal loss to have a players only meeting to unify. And then you had all these gimmicks that me and Johnny and every Met fan can believe in. You know, Grimace throwing out the first pitch on June 12th and going on a 7-game winning streak. I said the Jets need to find the stupidest thing to get inspired by and to unify. And I'm not just saying the players got to get unified. The coaching staff has to get unified, and the players got to get unified together as one. Right now, they are cracked. No trade is going to unify them together, whether for Devontae or another player.
You know how
No,
you spark this team? You know how you spark this team?
You win.
You fire the head coach right now.
Oh man, but who
Now.
But who's going
Right
to be the
now.
coach?
You bring Ulbrich takes
Ulbrich.
over at this point.
Ulbrich.
we all,
Ulbrich.
we all
I guarantee you right now that team sparks because they get rid of the guy that they see holds no player accountable for anything.
None.
Okay?
None.
That's the
And
thing.
that speaks volumes. What Afram's saying that, and Afram is very reserved and he speaks the truth.
Little
That
edgy.
to me is something that it's a common denominator. As much as we don't want that kind of aura of here we go, this and that. This is the actual definition of insanity. We're expecting a change, yet there's nothing being taken away. Robert Saleh is a great guy, but great guys don't win you Super Bowls. Bill Belichick's win you Super Bowl. Bill Parcells, Vince Lombardi's, guys that hold their team and their franchise accountable. We don't have that at head coach. You could see with Aaron Rodgers. As much as Aaron Rodgers hated Mike McCarthy had that Green Bay Packers in an accountable state when they won the Super Bowl. Everyone has to do their job, right? That was the slogan, right? With the Patriots for such a long time with their dynasty. Do your job. Why am I going to do my job, right? It becomes very communistic, right? If you think about it. Why should I do more if this guy who's doing less is getting recompensed the same way as I am? For what? It is what it is.
Yep.
You have someone like Ulbrich. Look at that defense. That defense is a product of Jeff Ulbrich. It's him. I didn't want him as a defense coordinator. I'm going to be the first one. When he came from Atlanta, I'm like, all right, we got a nobody. Good thing we got Saleh. But it all kind of unveiled itself that Ulbrich is the guy that everyone loves on that defense. You make that move like Afram said. And again, anything can happen, right? Maybe the guy has an epiphany, Saleh that is, on Monday night. And it becomes that coach that we wanted him to become. And we start winning. And we still building on him. But it took him, 4 years? He's not going to change. Afram?
4 years. You guys watched him for 4 years, and it's the same trend with this guy. I've given him the benefit of the doubt because he had no quarterback, but now he has a Hall of Fame quarterback. And has anything changed? You have 9 days to practice, and you come out flat. Every year, this happens with him. Okay? I don't see it happening either.
Yep.
Because it's about saving face. But let me tell you something. If Woody fired him today, he'd get more respect from all the fans than he would by keeping him.
See, but I'm going to get back to Mike B here. And I understand that's the narrative. I don't believe this anymore. I don't believe it. You have Woody Johnson. He has just plowed all of his money into Aaron Rodgers and this offensive line, getting an offensive coordinator that Rodgers is going to be happy with. And he's going to allow another season to go down the toilet like this? There's no way. I don't see it. We start 2-4. I firmly believe that we're going to have a new head coach for the New York Jets. I don't believe that they're saving face. That's not saving face.
I don't.
It's never happened. I get it, Armand. It's never happened, but I can't. It's a multi-billion-dollar team franchise. When you have all the sales and whatever the case is, there's no way that I see the New York Jets at 2-4 heading into what, Pittsburgh, that we're playing against the Steelers after this one.
Yep.
With Saleh as coach. There's no way. No way. I don't see it.
Then
why wasn't Gates ever fired?
They waited till after the
Evaluating
season.
talent.
Could have put you could have put the a defensive coordinator in charge at that
Well,
point.
I don't even remember who it was because they fired
Greg Williams.
They fired Greg Williams in the middle of the season after that
Well,
Raiders.
you could have
loss.
put anybody at that point. It wasn't like you were.
Loggins.
You
Well, he
could have
knew.
put anyone at that point. Just get him out. Show
I
the
mean-
fans that you've had enough.
Question though for all you guys: if we start winning, right, does that change the tune of it with everything is being said, or do we still?
In your heart, be honest with me. Do you feel like we're going to be winning?
No.
Be honest with me.
Honestly,
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 with what
all
you
right.
have now,
what I
this
have right
coaching
now,
staff, what you've seen for the past 4 years, do you see this team win? How does that offensive line with so many years of experience play as if they don't know what the fuck they're doing? I apologize for that.
no, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, okay.
Never heard him curse.
Okay.
This is
I-
exclusive. I'm going to use that soundbite.
Affirm, and I understand it. We're frustrated. It's frustration at its best because again, they put our freaking emotions at this heighten of a level, and we're going into this thing saying Super Bowl aspirations and all that. But
they're saying, and not just us, they publicly
we're-
said this.
we are a team, but that's what you're supposed to say. I can't go if my team is not saying that, yo, we're gonna do the Super Bowl. We have to. That's the goal. Every single day, every single year. That's what you're playing for. I want to win. Do I think that we could do it with this? Yes. Morgan Moses get put back in here. It's a different tale again and all that. We're expecting Olu to play with a whole bunch of guys right now at a position that he's never played over there in Penn State when he was always a left tackle. That Morgan Moses injury, out of all the injuries we've had, hurt us. JJ going down hurt us. We still got the talent to do it. We can beat the Bills. We
Was
can.
it
all
Simpson
honestly-
who got? Was it Simpson that got beat by the end? He was beat
Yes.
completely. And
It was
okay.
Simpson. Yes. Yeah, you're right.
Let
You're
me
right.
ask you guys, who the hell is Bates? Was there really a Bates out there yesterday?
Yes.
Yes, he's the
Who the
tight end,
hell-
tight end 3.
Yeah. he's
He makes
tight
me
end
miss
three.
CJ. He makes me miss CJ Uzama. I'd rather have Uzama out there blocking.
I watched
makes
that
me
entire
miss Kyle
game, every
Brady.
play. I had no idea.
But-
Seriously, I have no. I thought you guys were kidding.
Dude, there was times when you have Conklin running, he's open, he's not throwing him the ball. Why do we have Conklin there?
That's a
Everybody's
Rod-
expecting
that's a-
Conklin
that's
to
a
execute
Rodgers
his
problem.
thing.
That's a
Yeah,
Rodgers problem.
That's what exactly. That's what I mean. Like there's stuff that they continue dude. There Rodgers and the team, there's chemistry issues right now. You know, they're trying to get it together in season. That's almost like nearly impossible to happen.
How do you
And
fix that?
But
By playing
playing together.
in the preseason. By playing in the preseason.
That's one.
Simple
Not
as
just-
that.
not just in practice, because everybody talked about how Garrett and Rodgers looked good in practice, in training camp, and now they look like dog shit. I don't know what the hell happened.
But when you have a legit head coach, right, and you see Aaron Rodgers throw that second or third pick, whatever the case is, he goes back to the sidelines alone. No one goes up to him, or he doesn't go to the receivers. There's no, it's not even accountability. It's about building a trust in talking about things. No one wants to talk to each other. That's when you have a legit head coach they'll burn a timeout or a TV break, whatever the case is. Huddle them together. Let's get your shit together. Let's get this going. But he doesn't.
If you had a legitimate head coach, those problems wouldn't be happening.
Agreed. I
Right.
agree.
Okay.
We don't have it. Now, the
don't-
problem, my biggest problem is this. I'm going to let you guys finish. My biggest problem is this. We have a Hall of Fame head quarterback, yet the quarterback is playing like a journeyman, a average quarterback. Remember all the past that were like, oh, all we need is just an average quarterback, just above average, and we'll be okay because this defense is awesome. Rodgers isn't even that right now because there's something missing. They can't click. The chemistry isn't there. And again, what helps that chemistry? Having a legit head coach to pull the offensive coordinator together and say, you got to switch this up. Give me an end around, something. Put Corley in there, something, because this is not working. But we don't, to Afram's point, we do not have a head coach. We don't have one. Again, we have a spin instructor as a head coach. That's it. He'll run up and down the stairs, watching other defenses run up the score. That's all we have. And it sucks to see that because we, as New Yorkers, as Jet fans, we give every benefit of the doubt to every head coach that has gone through this building since Woody Johnson has been owner. The only one that was a one and done, and it was because of his choice, was Al Groh. He took the Virginia job. And we were one game away from making the playoffs, and we lost against the Ravens. We
Wasn't
give
Pete
all
Carroll
these head
one
coaches.
and done too? He was fired after 1 year, no?
No, but he
Yeah.
was Woody. He was I'm sorry, he was Leon Hess.
Oh, yeah, Leon Hess. Yeah.
Has fired him for some stupid reason.
For
Dan,
some stupid reason.
Dan, I agree with you on that take. You're completely right. I mean, our coach is a defensive coach. I guarantee you he becomes a defensive coordinator. He's amazing and all that. The times of us not having an offensive coordinator, what up, B-Mac? Right? An offensive-minded coach, we need to get one, bro. Look, I love Aaron Rodgers. They're making our team one-dimensional. They're making Aaron throw more times than he should be throwing. It's crazy to me. Dude, that one throw that when he had a pump and then moved to his right after he was hurt and injured and then try to get it to with the double take that what's his name that Garrett did when he was wide open us to win us the game and everything. He thought he was about to get hit.
Right.
Because he's taking so many hits. Thank God that dude is a tough son of a gun because he is. Right? Anybody else would have freaking just put on the tent and just been done. What up, Dano? Again, 96 attempts in the last 2 games. 96 attempts. That's a lot. He's been sacked 8 times, over 25 quarterback hits. That's a lot, bro. And off of a guy that's come off of an injury like that.
It's big.
I have a question for everybody.
So
If someone was to be fired, let's say in the off season, who's the offensive coach that would be available? I have two in mind, and Ben Johnson. And the second one I'm going to bring up is the possibility of getting fired from his current job. Doug Peterson, former Packer backup quarterback.
give me an actual head coach. Give me Mike Vrabel. Give me Mike Vrabel, man. Give me Vrabel.
You want a defensive coach?
I don't. He's not a defensive coach. He's not. No, he's a guy that holds people accountable. He's a legit. Coach. I don't care what he is, coach. He'll get an offensive coordinator that will do his job. Again, I would like Ben Johnson, great, but unknown. Again, with these Jets, it's all about unknowns. Robert Saleh. The only one that they hit a home run with was with Rex Ryan. And some might say, "Oh, what about Herman?"
I'm not taking if Rodgers is back, Kevin. McCarthy's not coming here.
Yeah,
no,
he ain't coming here.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna get ready to hop off. I'm
gonna stay on. I'm gonna stay on.
All right, so somebody else again. Armand, your backup co-host again. Have a good night, everybody.
Take it easy, brother.
Good night.
All right, let's get to it. B-Mac, what's up, man?
Hey,
going on? Tell us your perspectives. What do you think, man?
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm disappointed about what I've been seeing for the last 2 weeks with this team. You know, it kind of gave me deja vu from last year with the whole, with the Zach Wilson. You know, what I mean, it's like, oh, we back to 2022, 2023. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. I just think that the Jets are 2-3. And somehow they are fighting for the first place in the division against Buffalo. And that shows you how weak this conference in this division is. So I think for that's great news for the Jets. But if you look at this team as a whole, they're not a good football team right now. They got a lot of problems. It starts with coaching. And I think that if they lose in a must-win game next week, I know this sounds a little bit premature, but I think you have to put the plug on the head coach and find and maybe give Jeff Ulbrich a shot, or maybe the tight ends coach a shot.
No, it's got to be Ulbrich. He deserved it. In my opinion, I get it. Middleton is a possibility, but Joseph brings up a good point, right? But I have a little issue with this. He says, why trade for Adams if we're not going to utilize him correctly? You have now, it might be a mutiny at this point, right? You think of Adams and Rodgers, they're going to be running the show. And at that point, you have those two at the point of their careers, they want to end their careers with a Super Bowl trophy, a ring. That's why, to me, it's so important to trade for Adams right now.
Yep.
And will he be used correctly? You better believe he will. Because who calls the plays? When it's all said and done, it's Aaron Rodgers. He's the ultimate guy. He'll audible out what Hackett
didn't look like that yesterday when he kept doing this, looking at Hackett like, come on, get me the play.
That was early in the game. As it went on, it seemed like he was calling his own plays as well. I mean, that's what it looked like to me. But to me, with Adams, you got to get him into this building. Why? Because, again, Adams, it took him, 2 years to get in rhythm with Rodgers. That's going to expedite the process with Garrett Wilson getting to know Aaron Rodgers. Garrett Wilson does not have 3 years with Aaron Rodgers to get in tune with him. This is it. Fast forward everything. That's why it's a little bit of a pain in the ass. Alan Lazard, that pass in the end zone, that's a perfect pass. You need to catch that. You need to. It's away from the defender, and it's right in your hands. Catch it. That's why Rodgers grabbed his face mask, saying, we've done this in Green Bay. How can you not catch this? We need to win these games. We're playing against inferior teams. And I hate to say that as a Jet fan, because we don't deserve to say that until we start winning. The Denver Broncos, the defense, as much as I harp on them, we held them to 10 points. Greg Zuerlein, you're not out of this. You got to make those, because last year against the Commanders, when we all were praying that you missed that one to keep us in the Marvin Harrison Jr. sweepstakes, you made like a 63-yarder. And this one in the rain, and that one was also in the rain, it was wide right, wide left, whatever the case is, touche Buffalo. But it's just, you got to make those freaking kicks to win the game. Enough of this. This is back to the same old Jets. We should have won, should do this. We start off at 2-4, fellas. There's got to be a change.
There won't be.
Got something. Can I say, do you remember last year with the Buffalo Bills? They were struggling. Their offense was struggling. Josh was struggling, and they got rid of their coordinator and they brought in Joe Brady, and then that offense showed life. Do you think they need to do the same as get rid of Hackett and have Todd Dowling call the plays and give this offense some new life?
There might be some more creativity. I don't see why not. I think the first one the head's going to be rolling is going to be Saleh. You need to. You can't fire Hackett first. You can't do that. You can't.
Good
I don't. Exactly.
the end of this is this, man. The Monday night game it's a must win at this point. We cannot lose any more conference games. We can't. If we want to be in the playoffs and be playing playoff ball and all this stuff, we have to win these games. We have to. Yep, look, exactly what Dano is saying. We're effed if we lose this game. We lost one to Denver. That hurts us. Imagine if Denver starts going on, because you saw what they just did against the Raiders.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're winning these games. Their defense is keeping them close in games. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I can't put all the blame on Aaron Rodgers because this dude is out there trying to play hero ball with guys that are running left when they should be running right. We get Davante Adams, that instant chemistry is there. Now he has it with two players. He has it with him and he has it with Lazard. You know, hopefully that shows Garrett, hey, this is what you got to do. Because from my understanding, Garrett reached out to Davante and said, hey, you know, can you help me with this in regards to that? That's why in the very beginning of the season, and people were calling me a nut job, and they were like, yo, dude, you're crazy for this. I kept talking about Randall Cobb. Right? We got Malachi Corley's riding the pine right now when you could have had a Randall Cobb riding the pine essentially, but would be able to be that voice in the corner of freaking Garrett Wilson and tell him, hey, when Aaron says this, he means this, and that. Hey, when Aaron is going like this, right, he's telling you to go this side or that. I mean, it is what it is. Again, it's frustrating is what it is, because we as fans, we're seeing that, and we've dealt with so much crap for so long, right, that now if any little crap they're doing, we're being just so hard on them, and we have the right to be so hard on them because they've done and played like shit for so long. We were promised, again, Super Bowl expectations, playoff expectations. Hey man, the damn trophy place looks freaking empty, right? Let's get it. Let's fill it up. 2, 3,
Right.
or whatever we got to do. Do I believe in Aaron Rodgers? 100%. I still believe with Aaron Rodgers, he still almost gave us an opportunity to win this game. If we would have had Zach Wilson, Boyle, whatever these guys, we won't even be talking right now.
Right.
We'd be just lost
It'd be 0-5.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like,
But
you know,
if we lose to Buffalo, you know what everybody's going to say? We could beat Buffalo with Zach Wilson, but we can't beat them with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, nah, you cannot
Oh,
have
true.
that happen next week. Like,
You know, that's going to be the
You gotta
outcome
beat
after the
Buffalo.
game.
yeah,
And if they were to demote Hackett, why does it have to be Todd Downing that gets to call the plays? Why not give the play calling duties to Middleton?
my opinion is I'd rather have Middleton. If we go that route and we're firing, it's Ron Middleton for me. He's that fiery coach that we want. He's that coach that's an offensive-minded coach, right? And you got Ulbrich that'll run with the defense. That's how I would do it. Because if you're going to put Ulbrich as the head coach, you're doing the same thing you did with Saleh all over again. You're expecting a defensive-minded coach, right, to know about the offense with Hackett and stuff like that. You know, at least you got Ron Middleton that could be like, no, Hackett, not right now. We need to go ahead and run this play because it's going to work. Why in the hell were we in the pistol formation, right? At 4-2, right, where you got Aaron
Unbelievable
shotgun out there 5 yards. Then you got freaking Braylon 3 more yards out, right? So now it went from gaining 2 yards that this dude needs to gain 11 yards to get a first down. That was crazy. It's insanity.
Look at the Kansas City offense. Look at the Miami Dolphins offense. The creativity that they have there on those 4th and 2s, end arounds. You don't know where the ball's going. When you're playing straight up old school ball like that, the defense pins their ears back. They know exactly what's coming. It's so vanilla. These are preseason plays. And when something like that happens, that again is a head coaching flaw. Obviously, what I'm about to say is it's hindsight 2020. Kick the field goal. Kick the field goal. It's a points game. That's all it is. Kick the field goal. It's early. You're not setting your stamp on there on the game. Go for it. If that's all you have in your arsenal of in your playbook, kick the field goal. Get Zerline into it. And at least make it kind of a close game. This is BS that what we have here as a product. Fast forward to this Monday night, and a lot of us, I guess, we all have this common denominator of we have to win this game. And yes, I say it, we need to win this game, 100%. But at 2-4, the season is still not lost, but there's got to be changes in order to salvage this season that once had so much promise. We got to win, but if we don't, we cannot go into the following week with no changes whatsoever. Because at that point, if that happens, if we're at 2-4 and Saleh is still the head coach, I'm so as much as a fan that I am, I'm throwing the white flag. Like they don't care about the fans anymore. They don't care about our time that we have to spend, some of us away from our families, where we're kind of like moving heaven and earth to watch this product. Then they don't care. They couldn't care less because it's already 4 years. Saleh should have had this already at like clockwork. And now all of a sudden we're 2-4 and no heads are rolling. Woody, then what's going on? What are you putting out there? Do we care? Do you care about us? Or do you care about the hats, the jerseys, all this nonsense that goes on all in the offseason? We're winners in the offseason, and that's it. This is the time to change your kind of perception, Woody Johnson, that you really give a crap about the New York Jets and the fan base. I don't care about the wrist color flashing at Monday night to make the stadium look amazing. I don't care. I want to win. You guys want to win. We want to be prideful of being New York Jet fans. It's a must win, but also it's a must change this Monday night in the event we lose.
Question: if we go that route, right? What would you guys say if we go ahead and say, you know what? Then they fire Hackett because it's the offense that's the issue.
Oh, yeah.
And then they move Rod Middleton into that as the interim offensive coordinating position. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, there's just so much stuff that goes into it. Our O-line is exactly they are like this. That Morgan Moses injury hurt us a lot. A lot, and not people. We were expecting Olu to play a position that he does not know how to play that well at all as a rookie, right? Come in and just be great. It's not going to happen. They put in Bates to chip players, and the dude was whiffing, right? And you got freaking now, Dan. You're right. The calling of the plays were horrible. You know when Garrett Wilson is not in, we're running the ball.
Right.
Everybody knows that we're running
Everybody.
You know what I mean? But people are saying, oh, but Breece Hall lost this. Breece Hall is done. You know, he's not. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Like, Breece Hall is still that guy. The schemes that they're putting him in, it's a lose-lose situation. But Braylon Allen, you know, he's doing the same stuff. He's a different type of runner, man. You can't compare the two.
Right.
They're completely different, and we're not utilizing the Breece's strengths. Put him out. How come that one touchdown that he had, right, when he went and lined up as a wide receiver and he said, "Throw me a goal ball, Aaron, because I'm ready to beat the linebacker that's covering me right now." Where is that at again? Let's use it. Or is Hackett gonna say again, "Oh shit, I didn't know that Breece Hall could catch the ball."
That's what it is.
When you know the Vikings blitz a lot, how come there's no plays to counter that?
None.
I mean, they tried it, and you got Van Ginkel that went back and did a pick six. He was coming out, getting the ball out less than 3 seconds. And you know what they started doing? They were showing that they were going to blitz, and then they would come all the way back out.
Right.
I mean, but the thing is, I understand what you're saying because you're completely right. It goes back to the coaching. It goes right back to the coaching stuff because You're saying that right now. We're all saying this stuff like that, but the coaches did not come. We came unprepared again. We
Exactly.
knew that they were gonna blitz. Why would you not blitz, knowing damn well that you're having issues with the running backs right now? They made us one dimensional. It's what they did. Denver did it. Now you have Minnesota do it, and it's a copycat freaking league. Don't be surprised if you got Buffalo doing the same old shit to us all over again.
Everybody's going to be doing that.
That's what I'm
Everybody.
saying. Like,
And our defense needs to blitz. Ulbrich, like Dan, you believe in Ulbrich in this defense? They got to start blitzing more. You just can't wait for a game like New England when half their offensive line is compromised and injured and blitz like that like crazy. You're going to have games when there's going to be the starting offensive line for the other team, and you're going to have to blitz. You should have started blitzing when Aaron Jones went out, when Ty Chandler was back there in the backfield, when they had no run game, and Sam was misleading passes, overthrowing guys.
You had more chances but turnovers at that point if you did.
Bingo.
I want to share something here with you, what Lawrence just said here. Let me see if I could pop this up here.
yeah, it's happening, man. It's pretty much a done deal already. Like, and it's been talked about all over.
Yeah, says, oh boy, lots happening at the moment with our guy Adams. He won't be on tomorrow. Sorry about that. Stay tuned. He's got to be a Jet. Guys, this could be breaking news at this point. He's got to be a Jet. He better not be no freaking Saint.
Yo, if he's a Saint, bro, and with everything going out tonight, did you see that bomb from Carr to Shaheed?
Yo,
Look, that was nuts, man. Like, I wish Aaron is doing that, but
I can't, man. I can't. You know what I mean? I don't know how I would react as we're so invested in this. And again, this might be a possible fleece deal with the Raiders on Joe Douglas. Douglas is not used to that. He's the one that normally fleeces teams. There was reports, that the Raiders wanted a second rounder and that there's no way that teams wouldn't. If the Saints are like, you know what, we'll give you a second rounder, and Joe Douglas doesn't offer that and a player, which most likely it's going to be Malachi Corley. Guys, come on, like
The reports are the Raiders don't want a player back. They want picks. They want 2 picks, and they don't want the money on their books.
yeah, but Malachi Corley, what is he, a third rounder? What is he? He's not a second rounder, right? He's a third.
He was a third round.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would rather have the picks than the player.
I tell you this, do it.
Do it.
Fuck the second rounder, because we have
couldn't
2 threes. I'm sorry for cursing, my bad.
No,
We have
I couldn't care less.
We have 2 threes that we could essentially package together if we really wanted to go in and get a second.
I'd give him the 2 threes. I say, you want the money off the books? Here's 2 threes.
Why isn't Corley going anywhere, Mike? But why? Why? If the Raiders want Corley, they're gonna get Corley. That's just me. I mean, if
I'll
the
give
Raiders
him Brownlee.
I give him anything. Whatever. You want Lazard? I'll give you Lazard.
Nah,
you want
hell
Mike
no.
Williams? You want Mike Williams? Go right ahead.
Nope. Can't do
Of
it.
course. It's a huge
Nah.
upgrade.
Man, bro,
Huge upgrade.
Devontae, Garrett, Lazard, and Williams. Those 4 guys lined up together. Who do you block?
Lazard
Who
is
do you-
replaceable. Lazard is way replaceable.
Not
He
with
drops a lot
Rodgers,
of
man.
balls. Yep,
That
he drops a
chemistry
lot.
that they got, man. That chemistry is there. But
he still drops passes even with that chemistry, Johnny. He had 4 drops. He had 4 catches for 32 yards and a touchdown. He could have had 8 catches with 2 touchdowns on Sunday. And it's a totally different story with all of us praising Lazard again like we did week 1 and week 2.
I'm talking about chemistry wise. That's where I come at with this. That's for me. That's
If I
my
have to
opinion
swap,
on that.
if you could swap,
I
in the 1 second, in the event, you know what, BMAC, I'm going to pose you a question. If the Raiders want Alan Lazard in a second round pick for Devontae Adams, yes or no?
I'll drive him there.
And fly him first class.
100%. I'm with. Did Lazard kick rocks?
Yeah. Yeah.
How about-
I would do it. Do it.
I'll
yeah.
take him to a brothel in Vegas. I'll take him to a brothel in Nevada. I'll pay
Let's-
for the hooker.
Like Johnny, let's play percentages, right? Let's like
Yo,
God
damn, that's hard, bro.
yeah, that's I didn't hear that one. I'm probably gonna hear it on the back when I listen to this back. But let's play the percentages. Let's say AFC divisional game or championship, whatever the case is. Rodgers drops back, throws it back of the end zone to win the game to Lazard or to Devontae. Who would you want making that catch?
Devontae, easy.
Lazard can leave. I don't trust the guy. That's the
Leave
problem
now.
with Lazard. I don't trust him.
100%.
I don't trust
I'm
him
with you.
making if that's the guy. But honestly, it's a business where everybody knows everybody. The Raiders don't want Lazard. They probably want someone else because it's a team that is it's rebuilding. So maybe they want someone like Corley. Like, all right, you know what? We actually like him wherever he came from, and he might help this team grow. Because right now they made a switch at quarterback. They could possibly be one of the worst teams in the NFL alongside with Carolina. They're not winning a lot at all. So I really
Technically,
hope
we're down there with Carolina the past 4 years. We're the third worst record behind Carolina and the Bears.
oh,
And here's with Saleh, the past 4 years, the Jets have the third worst record behind Carolina and Chicago. And we've done that with one head coach. Dave went through multiple.
Armand, why do you keep saying these things to us, man? It hurts my feelings.
Armand is the statistician of this team.
Yes.
Right now.
All I can say is this. Oh my God. Highway, baby. Let's go.
I will be there tomorrow.
Dude, awesome, bro. Enjoy that. Enjoy. It's gonna be so electric over there, man.
Oh, it's gonna be wild, man. I hope we win, man. I mean, what the Mets have been doing over the past 9-10 days, dude, it's electric. It's out of this world. But that's what I was saying before. You have all these New York teams that are making their fan base so proud, man. The Knicks. You thought that the Knicks already had enough chemistry. They go out and they're like, no, we need to get better. And they got Karl Anthony Towns. As much as I like DiVincenzo, again, let's compare. That's kind of similar, right? If you think about it, Lazard, Corley, for someone like Devontae, the Knicks are like, they didn't even think twice. Like, you want DiVincenzo? You want him with Randall?
They also got the kid from the Nets too. That's
another kid, another one that
Bridges.
Bridges,
Mikal
Mikal
Bridges.
Bridges. They are franchises that they're looking past the fandom. They're looking past it. Like, we need to win a championship. And if it all looks good, all health-wise, they're a threat. The New York Knicks are a legit threat in the East against Boston. Now we go to the Mets. Another one. Like, dude, Armand, you nailed it earlier today. It was about chemistry, having that team meeting. And it just projected them to how they are right now.
They were also franchises. Franchises, but the owner doesn't meddle.
That's another one. Am I missing another one?
But Woody hasn't meddled. I don't think so.
Yes, he does.
Oh, yeah, yes, he does.
I don't think so, man.
Johnny,
He does, Johnny, he does.
Johnny, let me ask you a quick question, and be honest with me. Do you think Joe Douglas is a competent GM?
Yes.
Then why didn't he get a backup quarterback last year?
Because he's stubborn and proud.
No, because of Woody.
Pay for one. Woody wouldn't pay for another guy paying.
You don't know that. You don't know that report, Johnny. That report came out.
I didn't hear about that.
That report came out 2 weeks after? When's that? Like, I think either right before or right after the Kansas City game. That Woody would not give him money to bring in Wentz or to trade for a veteran quarterback.
Because
that's why we were stuck. And that's why we were stuck with Zach.
Right.
And
You're paying Rodgers. What was he paying Rodgers? 17, 18, whatever, 20 million. And you're paying because you have to pay his 11 million.
Right.
So he didn't want a third string, number 3 quarterback getting $11 million. That's why they put Zach as number 2.
Right.
Woody's cheap. Woody's penny wise, dollar foolish. Trust me, I know this.
Think
Sorry.
about this. Joe Douglas said we were on a budget this offseason.
Try to
Even with all the moves they done. That's not a Joe Douglas thing. The budget thing comes from Woody and ownership. And we know this in baseball. There's a lot of teams that don't spend money. They say they got a budget.
You know, and Armand, to your point, and Dan, to what you guys were saying in regards of it, look, it's a great time right now to be a New York sports fan because of what everybody's doing. With the Mets, you know, look, nobody thought we were going to do what we're doing right now, okay?
Right.
We were told in the offseason that this is a rebuild year.
Or evaluation season.
They pretty much threw the towel in, right? But you got a player like Lindor that said, you know what? I'm the captain. I'm making all this money. You know, this falls on me. We're waiting for that guy to come out, and it's going to be Aaron to say that. I believe once we start winning, we start going like this. And it stops everything, man.
You also had a manager who decided to change the lineup and not go by the analytics.
Correct. And
okay, he went outside the analytics.
Thank the Lord for that.
And he put guys in positions where they were succeeding. You didn't have
The best thing Mendoza ever said after his press conference or even during his press conferences, building relationships with the players. If he didn't build those relationships, Lindor's not in the leadoff spot. He's still batting third and probably struggling. Having 9 wins in the total in the month of May probably still happens in June. We're not in this race. All our rentals are probably traded at the time, Johnny. You know this.
Yeah, you're right.
But he built the relationships with the players as individuals. Lindor, Pete, Nimmo, to have them believe in him and trust in him. Saleh hasn't done that. Saleh doesn't have relationships with these players.
He wasn't arrogant. The Mets manager isn't arrogant. He's willing to make changes. We have an arrogant head coach who wants to stick to his guns and think that it's 4 years it hasn't worked.
I mean, I just threw that out there. It's inevitable. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen tomorrow. You heard it here first.
Who's getting a Devontae jersey? I know I am, dude. I've always loved that player, bro.
I have a Braylon Edwards jersey and a Jamal Adams jersey. I'm cutting the nameplate out. I'm making I have some Elmer's glue, and I'm just gonna save myself $180.
For your sake, let's hope he takes Jamal's number and you don't have to do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you could take.
That would be great. Number 33. That's fantastic.
You could take it down to Canal Street, bro, and they'll stitch the name on the back for you.
That's exactly.
Go DH gate for $30. You get any jersey you want made up.
Yeah, but by the time I get it, the 2026 season's over.
I ordered a Rangers jersey. I got it in 2 weeks from them. Custom. I put the name on it.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Pierre LaRouche, if you remember Pierre LaRouche from the Rangers. Okay. I got it from my buddy. 2 weeks I got it from them.
Wow, that's fast.
I cannot wait for the Rangers season too, man.
This Wednesday, you're gonna face my captain. You're gonna face my captain, my team. The only team in my 39 years of living to give me championships, to give me happiness. The only team. I'm taking a road trip in 2 weeks to go see in Pittsburgh. The weekend the Jets play the Steelers in Pittsburgh. I ain't going to that game. I'm going to watch the Penguins.
Are you not happy being on this podcast right now, Armand?
Yeah.
There's happiness
Bye,
in your
Armand.
life.
Thank you.
No. Oh, there's happiness here. I love all you guys. I love every podcast that I watch, every Jet podcast, because we're as real as it gets.
But I gotta be
But
honest.
I got a clue.
With all this going on, I still feel awesome about this season. Because
Exactly.
I truly feel there's something down the pike, and it's not prune juice. You know what I mean? It's none of that.
It's the matcha. It's the matcha.
Right, exactly. It got it. I just feel like there's some. Look, we get Adams. That's a spark. That's one part of the puzzle. And I get it when they say, you don't let the inmates run the asylum. In this case right here, we
You
all know who
should.
the offensive coordinator is. It's Aaron Rodgers. You have now two guys there. If Adams is there, he will hold Aaron Rodgers accountable. To me, he's part of that domino effect. He's one of those that will go up to Aaron Rodgers and say, dude, what just happened there? Was there a communication? Garrett, come here. Come here. We need a Brees, offensive line. Now you got two of those guys that know what it is to win. That's why, to me, it's an enormous piece right now to get Adams. He cannot go to the Saints. He cannot go to the New Orleans Saints. He needs to be a New York Jet tomorrow. He has to be. He's part of this. We need a Super Bowl here. And we're doing what the Rams did with Stafford. Mortgage the future. The hell with it. I don't care. We're there. We mortgaged it the moment we traded for Aaron Rodgers. We did it. Win the Super Bowl. This is the window. Ephraim. This is the window. BMAC. It's not next year. Armand. It's not in 2 years. Johnny Boy, you know it. We're living it right now. 2-3. Peyton Manning started 2-3 in Denver, even after that 7 touchdown performance right out of the gate against the Ravens. We're going to have some hiccups here, but what do we do in order to rectify this? To me, the first domino, if we're at 2-4, the first domino is Davante Adams. The second one is if even with Davante, 2-4, Salah's out. There's no way Woody stays pat. At that point, I do want him to meddle, Ephraim. At that point, I do want him to get in the middle and say, you know what? Salah, it's been real. It's been great. Now we need to go a different direction. We got everything set. We need a leader in this locker, and it's not you. What do you guys
Where's
think?
Joe Douglas? Why isn't Joe Douglas going to Woody say, I need to fire this guy?
He probably has. I wouldn't be surprised if he had that
Mhm.
conversation and said, "Hey, man, if this
We
gets
need to make a change.
we need to make a change." I wouldn't be surprised because at that point, his own position, he's playing for an extension, right? We haven't
Right.
extended him yet. So I don't know, dude. It's tough. Look, the Jets are this, Dan, and you just said it. They're the toxic girl that we've
Oh.
had. Okay, that one chick that is super bad for you. she
That
gives
gave
you that-
Darnold mono.
She
Yeah.
gives you that taste, bro. She gives you, and she got you right back in her claws, man.
Always.
And you know
Always.
damn well.
But then you know what? You know what happens, Johnny? Her brother, IK and Kampali, comes in and cracks your jaw wide open like he did Geno Smith. But you know what I want to see? You know what I want to see Woody come in and medal for? Not just a Devontae trade or a Salah firing. Go medal to Joe Douglas's office and said, "Here's the money. Go pay Reddick and bring him in. Bring him in. You traded for him. Let's stop. Stop this pissing contest."
You
What
know I
about
see?
Hendricks? Would you go for Hendricks over Hassan Reddick? Trey Hendrickson, that's over there in Cincinnati.
Oh my
And
God.
that's if Cincinnati's willing to trade him.
I mean,
That's if they're they're 1-4, but they look better than us. They look better than us on the field. Playing wise, from the player's perspective, Zach Taylor made dumb decisions on Sunday.
Agreed.
Can I throw
100%.
can I throw a fantasy out there? Since we're talking about ex-girlfriends and girlfriends,
Toxic girlfriends?
and
Yes,
toxic
man, I love
girlfriends
them.
that gave Darnold
love
the
'em.
mono. Remember
I
last?
know
week-
that chick, by the way.
I think we all do. Well, this whole entire panel knows her. That's why we're here. We're still. So Max Crosby said something last week. He said, "Wherever Devontae goes, he wants to go with him." Right.
I wish.
Right. So
I know a Crosby that wins, so I don't mind taking another Crosby.
now, right now, that speaks volumes of him saying that.
They're horrible, Armand.
With the season so early, would you guys give next year's first, second, and the following year's second for that tandem to come here? And Reddick, you give them Reddick.
Fuck yes, with the quickness. Take all of that shit and all that. Max Crosby, that's a player that you could build your
Oh my
franchise
goodness.
around.
Wow, dude.
That helps. That helps Quinnen not get double teamed.
What's his salary though?
I don't care.
You
You
got to
make
care.
it. You make it fit. You
Joe
go up to-
Douglas is going to care.
You go up to Quinnen Williams, restructure. You go up to Aaron
Yes.
Rodgers. He did it before. He'll put it on the back end for next year, whatever the case is. Again, we all know the moment we traded for him, we sacrificed everything. You got to move heaven and earth. And what the Saints have showed us over the years is that there is no salary cap. There is ways how to manipulate numbers. And that's why Joe Douglas gets paid the big bucks. Manipulate them. Move them around. Play your Sudoku. Do what you need to do and get these guys in here. If they come in a package deal, oh my goodness, dude. Oh my
But
goodness.
he already said, though, Max Crosby already said he's not going nowhere. He came in and was talking junk to saying about the clowns on Pat McAfee and all the stuff that they're doing over there. You know, he's like, I got this damn team tatted on me. I'm here for the long run. I'm not going anywhere.
And think about this: Crosby would look like a fool getting traded now because he said in the offseason to hire Antonio Pierce or trade me.
Right. But after he does this,
Now I could see after the season and next off season, you know, maybe he wants to get out of there. Maybe the Raiders decide to move on and just to start the full rebuild and tell him, look, we're gonna trade you. I could see that happening more than him getting traded now, unless you just had some dumb owner just give them the full deck of cards and the house for Crosby that they just can't say no to, unlike what Carolina did when they got offered 2 firsts for Brian Burns and turned it down.
That's a possibility as well. I mean, again, for everyone watching right now, if you haven't done so already, thank you for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button, hit the retweet, do whatever it needs to be done. We're just trying to grow. We're getting some, again, this is what it's all about. The link is in the description below. Click on. We'd love to hear your perspectives and your views. BMAC, we haven't heard from you in quite a while. What do you think? You think it's materializing, the Adams deal? Is he coming to the Jets or is he going to New Orleans? What's going on?
Yeah, well, I was just watching the Chiefs and the Saints game, and the Chiefs are up 16-13. It's a 3-point game. So, but yeah, but one question I do have for y'all, because I know as usual, Rodgers is getting a lot of criticism today, and as you said, you know, he played bad yesterday. You know, we ain't, you know. I don't think we all defended him, you know what I mean? But
I have.
So I think and oh well, yeah. I you know, no, I gotta hold him accountable because I don't want to make him seem like I'm carrying his water. But I do get upset because he does get a lot of unfair criticism, you know what I mean? But dude, I think he's fallen off a cliff. And this is like a serious question because we saw what he did his last year in Green Bay. And then, yeah, he had 2 good games so far, but the last 2 games he hasn't, like, dude. I think that he's in, you know, like he's like washed up and Father Time caught up to him.
Hell no.
I don't think so. I don't think so, especially if you know, someone just posted right here on Twitter something bigger than the Braylon Edwards trade that elevated this team. I'm looking at Davante Adams as a Brandon Marshall. Look what Brandon Marshall did for Fitzpatrick. Like, he broke all the records, right? Like, you know, that single season record for receiver. That's how we look at Davante, and that may revitalize Rodgers. I don't see Rodgers washed yet, because the hit that he got yesterday, where he was just, I mean, writhing in pain, I thought he was done. I honestly thought that, all right, you know what? Tyrod's coming in here. I was already placing that picture in my head. He's got more mobility. They might get a little bit of a rhythm. And then that 15-yard penalty happened with the punter, and Rodgers comes right back in. If he was washed, he would not have come back in. He's determined. That's why it's so important to get him everything that he needs, even a head coach that's not inept. If you go 2-4, make the switch. Rodgers is fully invested. You know how hard it is to get someone that's so enigmatic like Rodgers to be fully focused? It's very hard. He's all in this year. He wants that Vince Lombardi trophy. And it does sound hyperbolic right now. It sounds like I'm talking out of my ass. There's no way this team is 2-3. How can you talk about that? Because we've seen it. We've seen Aaron Rodgers play at a high level, and that's the level that he's bringing here. But everyone's kind of off base here. There's a lot of moving parts. But that starts with getting someone like Davante Adams, he's going to bring everything together. I'm telling you guys, if this becomes official tomorrow, it's going to be something special. Brandon Marshall special.
100%. And BMAC, look, I'm one of the guys that is defending Aaron Rodgers. I don't care who you are, but throwing 96 attempts in 2 games, that's crazy, man. This is not college. That's not sustainable. You guys got players in the NFL that are going to adapt to that quick, and you just can't. We're asking him, right, to play hero ball. We're asking Aaron Rodgers to be Green Bay Aaron Rodgers. And what did we all say in the very beginning of the year? We just want a quarterback that could get it from point A to point B, that could go ahead and check down the ball itself, that could audible and get to something where he's going to make everybody else around him look a lot better. We're not asking him to throw for 400 or 500 yards a game, 300 yards a game. We're not asking that. But right now we are. I mean, we're hoping this dude is going to throw 50 freaking balls a game. That's nuts to me. That's impossible. This guy is going to get hurt. He's going to get injured. He can't take all those hits. 8 sacks, 25 quarterback hits already in 2 games. That's not including the other games that we've played. Man, dude.
Whew.
Look how beautiful they look.
Oh, my gosh.
Is that a record?
That's like me and BMAC right there. Except,
wow.
BMAC is Aaron and I'm Davante.
How amazing. It's there. Again, I'm sorry, man. That's what this team needs. I know it sounds crazy, man. We're 2-3. We're talking about firing a head coach and this and that. We got that. They won't need 3 weeks to get things going. How many times is it me or when Aaron Rodgers starts talking about Davante Adams is on a different team? Is that tampering? But it hasn't happened, right? Like Rodgers.
It's only tampering if the management.
Yeah.
If GM does, or the owner.
Really?
Yeah, another player. Because players talk to each other. They can't do nothing about that.
They're best friends.
Dude, but how messed up is it that they already got a 17 on him, knowing damn well that that's Corley's number?
Because he's not going to be here.
Yeah. Dude, I like Malachi Corley, man.
I like him better.
I'd rather give him a chance than over Gibson.
So do I. But if he's in the doghouse, or
how is he in the
probably
doghouse?
for no reason, because it's Salah.
Exactly.
Or not, or maybe the Raiders really want Corley. Maybe they.
I highly doubt it. I think they want picks more. They want picks more than anything.
I mean, did you see the stuff that Corley put up on his Instagram, Dan?
Joe Douglas don't like that. He don't like that because again.
Well, then Joe Douglas needs to eat a cheeseburger to shut the hell up.
He's a dummy. Number one, yes, because Michael Carter did that. Jamal Adams did that. Mims did that. When they go to social media and they start blasting their own team, Joe Douglas knows, man. He's like, all right, we got to get these guys out of here. And shame on Corley for doing that. You don't do that. You're a rookie. You don't start blasting your employer, and you haven't done anything. That's why, in my opinion,
neither have they.
What has he said? Like I don't get the context of what he said, because the only reason I'm saying that about Corley, because people have been saying it. You guys see what he put? I don't know what he put out there. Like
I think he put. I think he put up the stats. I think he put up the stats that like what was talked about him being the Yak King, and like he could do this and do that, and how like the Jets. I mean, look, the Jets did this to themselves. You remember after they drafted him? Remember the Twitter post? It was Corley or nothing, like from the movie Draft Day.
Yeah,
Right.
Like they were praising this kid like he was a first round pick.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was on the phone for how long before someone traded with him
Yeah.
to move up?
That's
I
why,
mean, but
Dan.
he
That's
should
that's why
play.
that's why it would be a bad look for them trading him for how
Yeah.
much they praised him in the offseason, from the time they drafted him through camp and everything. That's why it would be a bad look trading him,
I tell you,
even
who
for
I,
trading him for Devontae. Even
I tell you who I blame for all of this. I blame B-Mac for always saying about Aaron Rodgers, is he washed up? Okay, that's who I blame on here, B-Mac.
no. Now the back shoulder throw to Mike Williams, I think because of the injury he got in the game, I think that kind of hurt him to not make the best throw. Because if that ball was a little bit higher and to the shoulder, I think Gilmore gets penalized there.
Dude, it was the craziest thing to me. Again, the play prior to that, or the two plays before that, right? With the whole Garrett Wilson, he does the double move and he beat his guy and all that, right? You see him trying to go to the right. It's that mental things. He thinks he's gonna get hit again, so he throws it a lot quicker than what he should have.
I think the knee compromised that throw as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't badmouth the guy and all that. I can badmouth Brees. I can badmouth Garrett. People are literally saying, right, get rid of Sauce Gardner, get rid of Garrett Wilson, get rid of Brees Hall. Okay, now, do we give them?
My question would be, what are we getting in return for them? Who's filling their shoes? Now you could say Braylon Allen would fill Brees' shoes, because out of those three, Brees probably deserves the most criticism, because we don't know what's going on with him. We don't know what's the reasoning for. I first thought early in the season he was trying to hit the big home run, like big run for a touchdown, like the 80 yards, shake and bake, trying to make the the highlight reel for the NFL Network or any other. He was just trying to do that, but I don't know if he's hurt.
That's what Brees has always been. Brees has always been the home run dude. Brees normally was averaging 1 or 2 yards. And then he would get he would go for like 70 yards. And we're like, oh man, you know what I mean? Like, this is amazing and stuff, because we haven't had something like that. Again, the comparison now, I'm not saying you're comparing, but the comparison of Brees Hall and Braylon Allen, two complete different runners and all that. We're not utilizing Brees in the correct schemes that he should be used, right? We have the scheme for Braylon Allen. When we should be putting him in for that scheme, we don't. We put the wrong guy in there and are expecting him to run dudes that are already in our freaking back, right? About to jump on us already. And then there's like, oh, Brees Hall don't have it anymore, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, how? He has 2-3 defenders already in his face. I just look. And guys, and everybody here, man, it's a must win. And it's so early for us to say that already, man. But it's a must win Monday night. It's a must win.
But would we be saying that if we were 4-1?
No. Well, I mean, yes, because it's in a division, right? Against the Bills, I would say it's a must win. I would always say that.
It's going to be the biggest deodorant for what has got on if we win, besides the Devontae trade. It's like, be the biggest deodorant. I agree, wins are wins, but it'd be the biggest deodorant for what's gone on the past. You could say, outside of the losses since the Tennessee game, the past 3 weeks.
I hear you, but my whole thing is, you've had great teams in the past that have masked the ineptitude of head coach. You know, you had the 2000 Ravens, Brian Billick. After that, he didn't receive any coaching offers anymore, right? John Fox, again, a guy that Peyton Manning won the Super Bowl in spite of him. You have someone like Devontae, in which the stigma of Joe Douglas landing a high prolific wide receiver gets put to bed because he tried to get Tyreek Hill. He tried to get A.J. Brown. He tried to get Deebo Samuels. Everything was turned down. Now you got someone like, who's that?
Justin Jefferson. He tried to get him this offseason.
Couldn't get him, right? So you get someone like Devontae, and he puts everything together. We could actually become a threat, and it would mask a lot of Salah because the accountability. There's that girl again.
Yep.
The accountability will be placed by Aaron Rodgers and Devontae. And now you have someone in Quincy Williams will hold that part alongside CJ Mosley accountable. You have those two subdivisions there in spite of a guy that's his job to make his players accountable in Robert Saleh. It's such a strange Jets-esque dynamic, but it could work. And I hear what you're saying. It could be like a deodorant type of masking and whatnot. But when it's all said and done, these guys want to win a Super Bowl. Yep. And they could win in spite of the ineptitude at head coach.
Yeah, I could see it now, man. Dan, you're so right, bro. Like, you're hitting it right on the head, dude. My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. By all means. No, like, Afram, what do you see some truth in that? Or you look at it as, all right, look, it's if Saleh is the head coach, no matter you have the CJ Mosley, hopefully he comes back holding the defense accountable in spite of the head coach. Do you see it working?
Have you seen anyone get held accountable for anything up till now?
Not
even when they were in the lineup.
Malachi Corley.
Oh man.
Okay. When have you seen the happiest guy in the team in Quincy Williams talk like that?
He's reaching his end. He
knows that
it. He's tired.
He's the first one.
They're tired of it, man. They're tired of it. I mean, I think there's been more. They've just kept it on the wraps because they don't want to go ahead and put it out there. I mean, they're tired of the freaking offense being the reason why we have a dominant game, right, on the defensive side and everything like that, and then the offense doesn't show up. Our whole mindset this year, oh my God, wait till this defense is playing with the lead. We've been going into the halftime, losing and playing catch up. How many times over and over and over and over again? And then we're going to get Devontae Adams, and it might be a diversion because we might lose on Monday night. I could see it happening again.
Yeah. My question is, when he's talking about accountability, is he pointing towards players or is he pointing towards coaching?
I think it's towards, to be honest with you, I think it's towards the offense. I think it's towards the offense.
But is it the players or the coach?
The coaches.
I think he's Saleh Afram you're talking about?
And Saleh, Hackett.
If it's Saleh, I think he's pointing it to the players.
I think he's pointing it to the coaches.
I think it's the coaches.
Because he sees guys if they're not working hard or anything, and the coaches are not doing anything. To me, that's on the coaches, and maybe that's where it's pointing to.
So
I can't see it towards Aaron. I can't see it towards Aaron.
No.
Aaron threw 54 times. He's trying to win you the game. He almost did.
It seems like Corley is blocking a lot of Jet fans.
No way.
It might be a clear indication that he might be part of the deal.
Hold on.
So
Malachi, don't block me, please.
Crazy, man.
Dude, I was chanting for that guy to be a freaking
I think we all were.
Jet, man.
Well, you know what? Because you guys are in sync with baseball and whatnot. The Mets coach or manager, whatever you guys call him, is he legit, or is it more the players that did that decision of say, yo, we need that unity, we could turn this around? Was it more the players, or was it the manager that turned this whole thing around? I need some
Starts with the
clarity.
manager.
The it's a little bit of both. I mean, Lindor went up to certain players and said, should we have a team meeting? And they told him yes. And so they had a players only meeting after a brutal loss in June. And Mendoza allowed the team meeting to happen because he trusted his players. And they started to turn it around.
So it's mostly the players then. To me, it was the players. The players wanted that change in spite of the manager.
Was it the manager's fault? The manager was going by and he changed it up, but he worked with the team. Okay, he didn't have the arrogance of saying you got to stick with this, do this. He worked with the team, and together as a team, they made it happen.
There was a crossroads. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. There's
Yes.
compromise. You got to
Now,
have compromise.
Do you see a world, even though it hasn't happened yet, that could happen for the New York Jets?
Nope.
Has it happened in 4 years?
It has not happened in 4 years, but same
Yeah,
thing with
yeah.
the Mets. The Mets with this coach or whatever the case is,
This manager, first year.
first year. But no, Salah has to see the writing on the wall here. If they're
Yeah.
trading for
Yeah.
Devontae Adams, trading assets here, possible third rounder that they got this year, in order for this to happen, he's got to know he's on the hot seat.
Dan, they brought in Aaron Rodgers. How much more do you need to see the writing on the wall? You have a Hall of Fame quarterback. What are you doing?
That's the frustration that I have with Salah, man. He's acting like his seat's not hot. He's acting like you already got a pass for next year. Dude, if my offense it's not doing something, I would be doing some off-the-wall plays, some flea flickers, some end arounds. We're the Jets, and we don't do no kind of jet sweeps. That's what you got Malachi Corley for. You got him for that. You know, a wheel route to get Brees open. They do it with Aaron Jones in Minnesota. We don't do it with this guy. Why? He could catch the ball. You know, if Hackett is the issue, right? He's the main culprit in this equation and whatnot. You're the head coach. Take it over. Stop being friendly with everybody and trying to be a friend with them. Okay, because they're not going to give two craps about you when you get that phone call from freaking JD and from Woody and saying, hey, guess what? You're done. Okay. You think Hackett's going to have your back and be like, oh, Hackett's going to be worried now too, because he could potentially get fired unless Aaron Rodgers stays there. And then the next head coach that comes in is going to have to be like, crap, if I want to keep Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to have to keep this Hackett dude all over again.
Hackett will be the head coach. I'm warning everybody.
Oh my
I have said that from the get-go.
Yeah.
Dan, I said if Salah gets fired, it's going to be Hackett because Woody's going to want to appease and, to appease Rodgers.
Well,
Because I could see Rodgers telling Woody, I'll leave. Remember, before the day Aaron said he wanted to come to the New York Jets on McAfee, what's the first thing he said when he was in his darkness retreat? I had 1 foot into retirement. And right there was my thing. They should have stayed away from him. And he should have went retired. You know why he didn't retire? Because he had a bunch of text messages from a lot of people he knows saying that the Packers were talking to teams about him to trade for him while he was away.
but that's what you need, right? Let's if we're going to go that route, let's go a couple of years even further. Brady was ready to hang it up as well. He looked washed, but a change of scenery gave him that spark again. And again, let's not forget his first year in Tampa. They were 5-5. No one had them pegged as Super Bowl champs. at all, not even sniffing the Super Bowl. At 5-5, things clicked. Bruce Arians, he amended his ways. He's like, all right, you know what? My kind of philosophy on the offense sucks. Let's
Exactly.
acquiesce to freaking Brady. And they did it. That's why I'm saying at 2-3, we can't just say,
And
it's over.
Salah won't do that. And Salah won't do that.
But Aaron Rodgers would. That's why we have
No, he
someone like
wouldn't. Rodgers wouldn't.
Adams would. With Adams in the building, it's different. It's completely different. Now, it can go either way. You get Adams, and this whole thing just blows up. It is. If it blows up, you know what? We start fresh next year. We start fresh. You get the coach out of here, the GM. But I don't want to look at it that way because it's still we're 2-3.
Yep.
First place is on the line.
Yep.
Monday night. It's still tangible that we can turn this around. And again, we could all look like fools except for Johnny and B-Mac, where with Salah, we're playing in the Super Bowl. With how we're looking at it right now, we're like, oh, you know, this sucks that Salah can't coach, which I don't like that he's not being accountable, that holding players accountable. But things change rapidly in the NFL when you have players that put their balls right onto the table and say,
Agreed.
enough is enough. Enough is enough. We need a players-only meeting. And then we're also going to need a player to head coach to offensive coordinator, all the coaches here. What are we trying to do here? Joe Douglas, you're in this meeting as well. Woody Johnson, the only one that can call out Woody Johnson. There's only one player, and that's Aaron Rodgers. I think it has to be collective. Behind closed doors, I don't care if anyone knows anything. It has to be collaborative. What are we trying to do here? We might be 2-4. We might be, 3-3. We got Devontae. We got the pieces here together. We need to win the Super Bowl. This is it. What do we do? Are we all looking at each other? Are we becoming accountable? We have a head coach. I'm going to play devil's advocate here. You guys might not like this. We have a head coach that he's treating us as grown men. Not a lot of head coaches can do this. Are we going to seize this opportunity? Because he's giving us the benefit of the doubt. And then you might have that trust factor again that you build. And how do you have that? With winning. You got to see eye to eye. I don't see this as a lost season just as yet, even at 2-4. I don't look at it as a lost season. And I'm not.
How do they get to 2-4, Dan? If they get shut out and embarrassed, are you still going to feel like that at
Changes have to be
2-4?
made. Changes have to be made at 2-4. Changes
I
have
mean,
to
will
be made.
they?
at 2-4.
Will they?
Yes.
I disagree.
I don't
Especially
think so, man.
trading for Devontae, changes are going to be made.
I disagree.
Question: Why?
Even if they get shut out and embarrassed, I don't think Woody fires Salah.
If they get embarrassed on a nationally televised game, there will be head rolling. 100%.
has
I
to
could
be
bank
at
that.
point. Yeah.
There's no way. No way.
Half
We're
from-
looking at.
How many times have you said that?
But this is a first.
No, it's not
Didn't we
first.
get-
That's not first.
First.
Didn't we get embarrassed on Thanksgiving against New England? We get smoked. We didn't
That was-
recover from the butt fumble. Nobody got fired, and that was a primetime game on Thanksgiving.
That was with
No one
Rex,
got.
right? That was with Rex. That was with Rex. He gave us 2 AFC championship games. You can't do that at Rex. You can't do that. With Salah, it's a different story. There's more invested here than there was with Rex. Over there, what we had Sanchez, we had Santonio Holmes, we had Sean Green. We had some players there. All right, you know what? We wait until the end of the season. At this point, there's more tipping the scale than it was back in 2012 in that Thanksgiving game. There's more right now. That's why, to me, you trade for Devontae Adams tomorrow. You give up a second, assets, maybe a player that you just drafted, and you go Monday night, you shit the bed. You can't convince me otherwise that Woody Johnson is not pulling the plug on Robert Saleh. There's no way. No way. No way. No way.
I'm
You
with
would.
Ephraim. I don't trust Woody. I don't think he has the marbles, the stones, the guts, even the brains to make that decision during the season.
I got
Oh,
a
my-
question. My bad, Ephraim. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. I just think he won't fire someone and still have to pay them. I really believe that.
But he's done that in the past. I mean, he
he's been
pays
for it.
them.
He's-
He has no other
He's
choice.
fired them. He's fired them and paid them after the season because there was maybe one season left on the contract.
Yeah.
Dan,
He would
this
make
would
that.
be
He would make that money up in 2 playoff games here at home. Armand.
okay. So you want to know? You know how I'm gonna equate this into baseball. How Woody a cheap owner is. The Pittsburgh Pirates, with the final 6 games, DFA'd a player. He needed 4 more plate appearances to hit his plate appearance incentive for $200,000.
Right.
That's why they DFA'd him,
That's wrong. That's so
messed up.
wrong.
because the owner does not want to pay. Woody is not going to pay a year and a half or whatever, how long Salah has left on this deal.
Apples
Now.
and oranges, man. The Pirates are they
money.
again? No. It's
money.
Apples and oranges.
It's money.
Apples and
I'm
oranges.
talking about paying. Ephraim, you understand what I'm saying, correct?
You get that money back. You
It
get
does-
that money
the-
back.
the-
and then
The
some.
owner gets that $200,000 back from ticket sales, jersey sales. You know, when an Aaron Judge jersey gets sold, that money gets split by every team. Just like a Patrick Mahomes jersey, that money gets split to every team. An Aaron Rodgers Jets jersey, money gets split to every team.
He will
But these
get that
owners-
money- that
The
owner-
same thing could be said about Bob Nutting and the Pirates. They could have let the player for the final 6 games get his plate appearances and make his $200,000.
But when you have so much invested to win a Super Bowl right now, that money comes back to you even that much more. And are the Pirates in the playoffs right now?
Doesn't matter about the playoffs, Dan.
Sure it
I'm
does.
talking about
100%.
I'm talking about spending money and paying. Woody does like Aaron. It does.
It
To the
doesn't.
owners, it matters. To the owners, it does, Dan. To the
Doesn't.
owners, it does.
It depends on the scenario. If it's a lost season, then they're not going to do it. If it's a season this is the window right now. Woody Johnson wants to win a Super Bowl at this point. You know what money to him is at this point? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's
You're
20
wrong.
it-
You are
it-
100% wrong.
No, it's
You're
2024.
100% wrong.
I'm not. It's
Yes,
2024. It's 2024. It's all about that stature. 2024. If he becomes Super Bowl champions, if he becomes Super Bowl champions, you think he gives a crap about the money that he's given Salah? He don't care. He couldn't care less. He couldn't care less.
You're wrong.
You're telling
You're
me,
wrong.
you're telling me that he'd rather keep Salah and not pay him or pay him on the books than winning a Super Bowl, already paying Aaron Rodgers here, trading for Davante
100%.
Adams, then you are out of
100%.
your mind. That's
I'm
how
not.
business works.
Why didn't he pay
It's
for
not.
a quarterback to back up Rodgers, a competent backup?
Thank you, Ephraim.
No, that's last year. Last
But
year.
he did that's him being cheap.
No, it's
They had
not.
Rodgers.
It's because whoever you brought in last year could not give you a Super Bowl ring. They couldn't.
But we could have made a playoff push, Dan.
Who cares about the playoffs? It's
We
about
had
winning a
Zach-
Super Bowl.
Hold
It's about
on.
winning a
I
Super
care
Bowl.
about the playoffs.
Hold
I care
on.
about
Hold
the
on.
playoffs.
Hold on. Hold
I
on.
care about the playoffs.
I don't care about the playoffs.
Based-
When you
hold
get
on.
Aaron Rodgers, it's
Hold
to
on.
win a Super Bowl, not a playoff.
Hold on. Based on your logic,
Yes.
if he
This
would
is
have paid for a
amazing.
quarterback
Mhm.
as a backup and made the playoffs, he would have made his money back on that quarterback. Correct?
Not all of it. Not all of it.
Oh yes,
enough,
all of it.
all of it. Well,
Yes.
enough to justify it.
Enough to
take the
justify
sting-
it.
Enough to take the sting out of it.
But you have to win this. The whole point of this is to win a
No, you
Super
don't have
Bowl.
to. I understand, but you lost your Hall of Fame quarterback. You
Mhm.
chose not to get a competent quarterback. You won
Right.
7 games with a brain dead quarterback. Won 7 games. You could have won another 4 guaranteed if you had
Right.
competent quarterback play. You would have made the playoffs, and you would have been able to pay that salary.
I guess
Did he
was
do it?
cheap. He didn't do
And-
it.
End the story.
But
Field goal.
he didn't
Field
do it.
goal.
But he didn't do it. But my scenario is a touchdown instead of a field goal. Again, you have Salah there. He's got to pay. It is what it is.
Here's my take.
But no,
The
hold
next
on.
2 weeks, even if they lose, Salah will still be here. They lose to Buffalo and Pittsburgh, no matter what, Salah will still be here. And we will all be on every show. We will be on every show. This show and the other podcast. We will call into WFAN saying Salah should be fired, and it won't happen because Woody is cheap, just like a bunch of other owners in every league.
So
Can I say something real quick,
What if he
guys?
does it?
Absolutely.
What if he does it? What would you do?
I'll come on here and say, finally, you grew a set of testicles, Woody.
Yeah, I would do too.
Dan,
Prove me and Ephraim wrong, Woody Johnson. Prove me and Ephraim wrong.
To
Now I
me-
want Salah more than Woody to prove me wrong. I want him, and I doubt it because I haven't seen growth from Salah from year 1 to year 4. It still feels like this is a tanking roster, even though it's not, with him trying to develop players when we have talented players to go win.
Fair point. Johnny?
all right, I have to say this, guys. I get everybody's part. And Dan, you're my dude. You already know this, Dan, right? But I gotta go with Ephraim and Armand on this one, bro. They're right, dude. On this, they're right about this in regards. If they want to make a big statement, the Jets don't want to be the same old Jets, right? Do something that hasn't been done in the past, and you fire the coach when you're seeing before it completely goes all the way to shit
Exactly.
to where
Right,
you could
exactly.
actually still
Exactly.
save the season.
Exactly.
You do
You're
that.
telling the team that change needs to be made
Yes.
for future of this team. Okay. I think Salah is still in his head that he's living off of Kyle Shanahan's success.
Right.
Okay.
I agree.
All right.
He doesn't
And he has
play.
the
He
man.
doesn't play with any fire. Like he's not
Nothing.
showing anything for us to be like, okay. he's
D'Amico
had enough.
D'Amico Ryans is a better coach than Salah.
Why is
Not just
At BMAC, let me ask you this, right? Because I know you watch the Packers a lot, right? Was Hackett always on the sideline, or was Hackett in the booth when he was their offensive coordinator over there,
I don't think he was the offensive coordinator.
or whatever he was over there?
No, I think with the Packers, Matt LaFleur was the offensive coordinator. He was calling the plays. LaDaniel Hackett was the red zone guy. You know,
Right.
like him and
Gotcha.
Rodgers would come up with plays in the red zone. Like that's why they call it the goal zone. You know what I mean?
But was he up in the
Yeah,
booth,
so
or was he
that-
on the sideline?
No, I think he was down on the sideline with Rodgers and the team, you know, helping them out with the plays in the red zone. But Matt LaFleur was the
Play caller.
Matt LaFleur and Rodgers kind of mixed it up. You know, Rodgers wanted to mix his plays in, and then Matt LaFleur wanted to do his plays, and then having Devontae help because him and Devontae knew what they were thinking when they were on the field together. So that's why they had all that success. Yeah.
Guys, I'm sorry to interrupt, but is Derek Carr injured? Because I don't see him
Yes.
playing.
yes, he's in the locker room.
Uh-oh.
The game's over anyway.
Hey,
And the Chiefs are up by 10.
breaking news, guys. Breaking news. I'm going to bed. I'm tired.
That's so
And
high.
Same here.
Great
Great discussion,
there,
as
man.
always.
you guys are awesome, man. Hey, look, at the end of the day, we're all frustrated Jet fans. It's been a tough many of moons already for us. Okay. And look, again, it's the coaching. 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 We had an opportunity. We knew, Anfram was saying it. They were going to blitz like crazy.
Yep.
He knows it. I knew it. Everybody here knew it. Saleh and Hackett did not know it. And it showed in the game. It should be no more. We need a balanced offense. We can't have Aaron Rodgers throwing it for 50 plus.
Yep.
It is nuts. You're asking for interceptions. It's going to happen by doing that. But he still gave us a chance and an opportunity to win it. The momentum pieces need to fall in our court. We need to get lucky. We don't have that luck. Okay? Everybody else and their mama, that happens for them except us. The game would have been way different if it would have been 7-3 and Quincy would have took that and ran it in. Sauce in the end zone, he gets a tip pass that goes in the air. It goes right through his hands. Maybe the momentum changes. If freaking Aaron Rodgers doesn't get hurt, right? And I thought he messed up his hamstring. I was like, oh my God, he blew a tire. It's done, right? Maybe that pass to but it's all stuff that's already in the past. We're looking towards Monday night. We must beat the Bills. There's a big possibility that Josh Allen is not playing. If Josh Allen is not playing, we should win this game. We have to win this game. If we do not win this game and Josh Allen is out, then there's those discussions about Saleh and heads rolling need to be talked about, and it needs to be done. We can't have that diversion of what Devontae Adams is coming over here, because I see it happening. But we got Devontae Adams. He's going to need a week to come in to do all this stuff like that. So it'll be a different story against Pittsburgh. I see it. The writings are on the wall, guys. Hey, JETS, Jets. Dan, keep killing it, brother. Afterburner. You already know what time it is. Hey, go Mets, baby. Let's go.
Go, man. Let's go, Johnny.
Guys, thank you all for, again, hopping on tonight. We're going to close up shop here. Again, we're just going to also say, prayers to Florida.
Prayers to Florida.
You guys are in our hearts. Just please, you have time. Get out. This is a nasty hurricane.
Don't be
please.
stubborn like Saleh. Just get out.
Get out of there, without a doubt. Again, please stay safe. Prayers your way. Guys, go Jets, and I see you guys on Thursday. Later.
Be good.
Quarterback, Ken O'Brien of California Davis.
Just 14 that first time, now going long. They got a wide open man, and he makes the catch. It's Braylon Edwards taking off. Braylon Edwards will take it home for the touchdown. 80.
First down in San Diego territory at the 47-yard line. Big draw. And Pennington going for 6. Deep down the field, and it's caught by Santana Moss.